Sound check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Are we live? はい。Hi, Mina. Emuri da yon. I'm Emuri, the otaku violinist from Glitches Dreamers. Nice to meet you. はい。グリッチサーズ所属、オタクバイオリニストのHiiragi Emuriだよ。よろしく。Thank you for waiting. Welcome in, Yakama. Hello, hello, hello. お待たせいたしました。Hey, how you guys doing? Happy Thursday? Happy Friday. Yeah, wherever you are. Oh my god, the week went by insanely fast. 今週1週間早かった気がする。めっちゃ早かったよ。Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Nyakama on the YouTube. Hello, Nyakama on the Twitch. Dude, my room smells like the Emuri perfume. My streaming room smells like the Emuri perfume that Zephyr Arcade is working on. It smells really good. Yeah, if you guys didn't see, there's only a prototype, but Zephyr Arcade was kind enough to send me a sample of the prototype of the Emuri inspired perfume that they're working on, and we'll be selling in the arcade once it's all made and everything, once everything is confirmed. But so far it smells very, very good. Yeah, I mean I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, it's supposed to smell like cherry, white tea, and amber. I specifically requested for the cherry. It's super nice. But it's not like overpowering. It's like a nice fruity top note, but like the dry down of the scent is like really it's a really like soft and clean scent with like a hint of sweetness. I actually really like it. I'm scared some people might say that it's like a grandma scent though. But also, I guess that's what I like, so it smells good. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Intamin! Thank you so much for the 100-bit sniffer! Thank you. Arigato! Sniffer, yes. Everyone wants to sniff the Emuri perfume. It's called Hiiragi no Yume, like Hiiragi, Dreams of Hiiragi. Yeah. At least that's what Mrs. Zephyr decided to name it. And you can even spray it on your Emuri Dakimakura cover if you have one. If you don't have a cover, don't worry. I might be releasing kind of like a mini cushion, mini plush, I don't know, version of the Dakimakura at some point. Like a little keychain, Shinomi, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you. If you really want to delve deep into the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, you should check out this really cool guide, the Dual Lock. Stop! Nope, never mind. Couldn't even get it out without wanting to buy. Whoa, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh does have a history with my VTuber agency. Very, very obvious history. I mean, I don't know, maybe not everyone knows, but a pretty prominent creator in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creator sphere, as far as I know, the Duologs is in fact my boss. So hopefully he will be happy and pleased to see that I am, reacting to Yu-Gi-Oh! Thank you again for the bits, guys. Thank you for the hype train. Emuri, it's time to duel. It's time to duel, Nyakama. Is this enforced logs shilling? Enforced mandatory company shilling of the dual logs. By the way, guys, go check out the dual logs. I don't think he needs me advertising his channel. Hi. Hajimemashite, irashai, Shoken-san. Welcome in. Yeah. Cherry is the best. Yes. It's a good smell. I love cherry. I feel like cherry used in perfume can be like too strong. At least like the cherry scents I've smelled in perfume before just weren't really my cup of tea, even though I like cherry. But this one's very different. I like it. It's very soft. I think it's good. I think Mrs. Zephyr did a great job. So I'm excited for you guys to smell it too eventually. And even if you're not a perfume guy, I feel like the ladies in your life would appreciate this perfume. I think it's very nice. Yeah. Gift it to a lady in your life. Gift it to your mom. Gift it to your grandma. That's what I want to do. Does he activate the trap card when you request company funding for activities? we are able to request company funding. Yeah. Just gotta have a good like pitch deck sort of thing. Oh my gosh, Nair! Thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you. Finally a Yu-Gi-Oh stream. Finally! You make it sound like there hasn't been any Yu-Gi-Oh streams. Or actually for me, yeah, you're right. For me, I've only done like one Yu-Gi-Oh related thing. And that was when Nova taught me Yu-Gi-Oh! When she taught me Yu-Gi-Oh! ノバちゃんがね、なんか遊戯王のプレイの仕方教えてくれたんだよね。結構前に。ちょっともう忘れちゃったけど。Sorry guys, I already forgot how to play. I'm sorry, Nova! Don't tell Nova. It's okay. That was a really fun stream though. But as far as my exposure to Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes, that's kind of it. That and watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series. I haven't even seen the original anime, but I've seen the abridged series. あと遊戯王のね、なんかアニメのパロディをなんか YouTube でちょっと見たぐらいかな。Also, dude, the OST for Yu-Gi-Oh! For the anime is pretty banger. で、あとね、サウンドトラックとかね、結構いいんだよね、遊戯王のアニメの方。But yeah, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm pretty much...I don't know anything. でもね、遊戯王に関してはね、まあ別に、なんていうのかな。あまり知識がない。はい。そうです。Remember, バーサーカーソードI can hear that. バーサーカーソードドローモンスターカード Okay, I know that scene. That scene is very famous. 話せDude, I know the memes, but I haven't actually seen it. Hi, Emuri, did you fall for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Propaganda too? Maybe. I mean, you know, once again, my company does have a history with Yu-Gi-Oh! And it feels weird that I don't know much about the Yu-Gi-Oh! So, it is time to watch the history of the Yu-Gi-Oh! And gain some knowledge on this card game that's been around since 2002 question mark. I mean if I'm going off the thumbnail, it's been around since 2002. 2002年からのゲームカード TCG なのかなAt least she understands the memes. I'm a tourist. ドローモンスターカードおはよういらっしゃい Welcome in Hello Yu-Gi-Oh! Has interesting card creatures based on real-life extinct animal species. Oh, wait, that's pretty cool. And I know that Dark Magician Girl is very cute. Yeah, we've got some waifus. Have you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh? Yes, once. Nova taught me. Yeah, and then, you know, she helped build a deck for me, and I haven't played since. But yes, my gen main Nova, she also creates a lot of content around Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like her main content, so yeah, I am surrounded by Yu-Gi-Oh! Players in my life. I'm also wondering, why does this logo have Shonen Jump on it? Yu-Gi-Oh! The trading card game Shonen Jump? I didn't know this was like a Shonen Jump thing. Yu-Gi-Oh! って Shonen Jump のやつだったの？知らなかった。I didn't know it was a Shonen Jump IP. Which, speaking of which, I have a funny story about Shonen Jump IPs. When what was it? when Naruto, when I was watching the OG Naruto anime, I believe they put Shonen Jump in the logo. And this was before I started, like, you know, reading any manga from Shonen Jump. So I thought that was part of the title. I thought there was Naruto Shippuden and then there was like Naruto Shonen Jump. Like Shonen Jump was the name of the Naruto, like, what do you call it? That the Naruto show, like Naruto Shonen Jump. That's what I thought. And then later I found out that Shonen Jump was in fact not Naruto. It was just, you know, it's the name of the manga magazine that Naruto was published in. So oh, the manga was an IP of Shonen Jump. Oh, it's another one. なるほど、漫画がね、Shonen Jump でね、連載されてたのね。なるほどです。 Yeah, yeah, Shonen Jump, my favorite Naruto character. I mean, it kind of works. I don't know. Naruto, he's a shonen and he jumps around as a ninja. That's like, that's what I thought. Oh yeah, there is a Plamo kid of Dark Magician Girl. You heard it's a good kid? Ooh, there's also the Millennium Puzzle. Is that what it's called? Yeah, two of my good friends a while back. It's been years now, but when it first was released, they like did a racing stream where they both built the puzzle on stream to see who could finish it first. It was pretty fun. Yeah, the Millennium Dorito. Yeah, that one. So Puramo mo aru yo ne. Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, and it is White Eyes Blue Dragon. Help. Blue Eyes White Dragon. What the hell is White Eyes Blue Dragon? Like some sort of knockoff? Guys, I'm gonna make a White Eyes Blue Dragon Plamo. I'm gonna repaint it. It'll be pretty funny. But yeah, there's also a Plamo of that. Konbanwa, irashai. Hello. Shadow D Nova. Thank you for this 3-stream streak. Welcome in. Wow. Thank you guys once again for the subs. All right. So, anyways, we'll be watching a number of videos made by Delta Shiny Zeta today on the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! They actually have a whole playlist here. As far as I can see, there's up to part 7. Part 7 まであるんだよね. And part 7 covers up to 2015. Beyond that, it's kind of like more specific stuff, like the history of I have no idea what these are, but like video games, the fire attribute, the alien archetype, the penguin archetype, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so there's also those sorts of videos, but in terms of like the overall history, there's up to part 7 up to 2015. So we'll see if we can get through all 7 today. We'll see how it goes. But I think we'll be getting through a handful at least. So yeah, come, sit back, get your drink, and whether you know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Or you're like also a newbie like me, hopefully we can enjoy some nice and interesting history here, some lore on the TCG. Wow. Light Magician Girl, there could be dark. Is there a Light Magician Girl? There's a Dark Magician Girl. Is there a Light Magician Girl? I don't know. It sounds like there would be. Needing some water. All right. Put googly eyes on it. Oh, on my White Eyes Blue Dragon. Seto Kaiba would cry. Because isn't that like his waifu? Blue Eyes White Dragon. All right, let me fix some audio here and we will get started with part 1. And if you guys want to check out the original playlist or any of the other videos, please check out the playlist that I have linked in my description to Delta Shiny Zeta's videos. Hi. I have it linked in my YouTube description. All right. No music. Goodbye, music. Hi. There's also Red Eyes Black Dragon. Is there really, or are you gaslighting me? Like, I'll believe you. I'm like, whoa, cool. There can be anything. Let me just grab my cough drop water. How'd you know it was cough drop water? I've been exposed. I guess last stream I was talking about it. Maybe that's why. How'd you know it's cough drop water? Oh my god, stop calling me out. All right, let's get started. Part 1. Let me know, as always, if I need to adjust any audio or anything. はい、音とか調整しなきゃいけなければ教えてください. All right, let's go. Yu-Gi-Oh! についての歴史, the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh wait, I gotta rewind a bit. Okay, here we go. For real this time.
Flip. Target one monster on the field. Destroy it.
Man-eater bug. Disgusting. We're off to a great start with a very ugly looking card. This is 2002. Okay. Whoa, that's a lot of effects.
So how exactly did we go from this all the way to this? Stick around and find out as we cover the entire history of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game in this series.
Entire history. そう、怖い虫。もう急に怖い虫が出てくる。Yeah. Right off the bat, we start off with, a gross-looking bug. Great. I hate bugs. Except Kamen Riders. Kamen Riders are okay. Alright. I love the soundtrack. BGM 好き。うん。I want to play this on the violin. Maybe I'll try to see if I can find sheet music.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
バイオリンで弾きたい。
One of the more intriguing card games ever to be released. The game has been around for nearly 18 years now, and there's no indication that it will stop anytime soon. But the very nature of the game has evolved massively over the years.
This video came out, by the way, 2020. Yeah, so it's already been more years since then.
Anytime soon. But the very nature of the game has evolved massively over the years, and that's definitely no understatement. The Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG began way back in March 2002 with the release of its first ever core booster set, Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Of course, it's Blue Eyes White Dragon! Where's my Legend of White Eyes Blue Dragon? Also, the art style is very distinct as well.
Later that same month, Starter Deck Yugi and Starter Deck Kaiba were also released to the public. These sets would set the foundation for what early Yu-Gi-Oh! Would become. A game mostly about who can generate higher attacks to overcome your opponent. The main thing to understand here is that during this period in the timeline, it's very fair to say that the card selection available was incredibly small. You see, Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon was composed of 126 cards, 72 of which were normal monsters, only 5 effect monsters, 10 fusion monsters, 36 spell cards, and only 3 trap cards. While Starter Deck Yugi and Kaiba were released with 50 cards each, Yugi's deck had 19 cards in it that were reprints from Legend of Blue Eyes, while Kaiba's deck had another 19 cards that were found in Legend of Blue Eyes or Yugi's deck.
Do these starter decks still, exist on, the aftermarket? There must be, hella money. Imagine if anyone has these, boxed and sealed. They're probably, worth, insane. Yeah, good luck finding them. Of course. What is this price at? I don't know. With Pokemon, being very expensive these days, I wonder how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. Yeah. I opened mine at the time to use them. Well, yeah, as you should. If you had bought them at the time, I would assume you were gonna, play it, right? はい。原作漫画の方はカードやる前はいろんな闇のゲームやってました。そうなんだ。Wait, so the manga was published at the same time the card game came out? Or was it before the card game came out? So 漫画はね、カードゲームと同じ、同時に連載され始めたのかな。カードゲームが発売されたのと。でもその前からかな。Yeah. Or was the manga out before? I'm wondering what came first, right? But maybe it was all a collective thing where they're all right, we're going to do an anime, manga to advertise a trading card sort of thing. I don't know. Hi, Hero. Thank you for the 7 months. Thank you. ありがとう. 7 months. Thanks. Oh, the manga was before. Wow. 漫画が先に連載されてたのですごい. Oh, no wonder it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Shonen Jump. Wow. This is some history I was unaware of. That is cool.
This meant the total selection between the first set and first 2 starter decks was a total of 188 cards. And if you include the limited edition prints of the first few Yu-Gi-Oh! Games released in North America, the total is still a bit just under 200. When you think about it, that's not very much at all. Prior to the next set, Metal Raiders, competitive players started to notice a couple things.
Metal
For
Raiders.
one, it became clear that Blue Eyes was the strongest 2 tribute monster.
Of course.
Summon Skull was the strongest 1 tribute monster. And Lajin was the strongest level 4 monster. As by the next set, the only card that matched its attack was 7-colored fish, as
that is a scary looking fish.
All other 1800 plus monsters had negative effects, such as Dark Elf, Jiragumo, and the Bistro Butcher. The only other beatstick that was spectacular but was very rare was Mechanical Chaser.
Oh. Interesting.
A level 4 1850 attacker available only in tournament packs, meaning almost no players had access to Mechanical Chaser.
Oh.
And this overall meant that the only easy cards to obtain that were 1800 or higher that were good were Lajin and 7-colored fish.
Mechanical Chaser looks like a Persona 3 boss.
So prior to moderators, though, a sample of one of the most powerful decks looks something like this. Summon Skull, Lajin, Neo the Magic Swordsman, and Battle Axe were your main beat sticks.
It's the Pot of Greed. It's banned.
Summon Skull, Lajin, Neo the Magic Swordsman, and Battle Axe were your main beat sticks, alongside some of the few good effect monsters like Maneater Bug and Wall of Illusion, as well as powerful staple spells and traps, and bam, you're good to go. That was your typical unofficial meta deck back in early 2002,
Cool.
and I say unofficial because the meta was hardly a thing back then. I did as much research as possible to try and find an official name for this early format, but I couldn't find anything. And this makes sense because the Yu-Gi-Oh community at this time wasn't properly established yet, and the internet was only in its very early stages in 2002. The fan-created unofficial term I found was called Summon Skull Beatdown Format, as it was one of the most widely used cards then, so in one huge way, it does make sense.
Wait, the art says 1996 on here. So even though this video is covering from like 2002, was it? Yeah. Was this game out like before that? Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Hi Hero. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Fun fact, years passed by, Kamen Rider Super Sentai has an archetype deck cards referencing them. Oh! Kamen Riders are called Masked Heroes and Sentais are called Super Quantum. Cool! Thank you for the fun fact. Thank you again for the super chat. Arigato. Oh, 1996 was when the manga was originally released. Okay, gotcha. 1996年は漫画が連載された時ね。なるほど。Wow. The manga was... manga really goes back. I want to read the manga now. 漫画読みたくなってきた。Like, 他のデスゲームとかあったんでしょカードとかの前に。Yeah, apparently they had like a bunch of like other games before like card games. Or like not just card games. I want to see what kind of stuff they did. That's cool. Archer says, I have all the original Magic the Gathering cards. Whoa! That's probably worth a lot, I would assume. You should keep it. It'll become so rare. One day it's gonna end up in a museum. I don't know. Penguin Lord, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you. The original Yu-Gi-Oh manga wasn't actually centered around a card game. It was a little more like Squid Game. Oh my god, Squid Game! Death Games! No wonder someone in my chat told me Death Games. Yeah. The idea of the card game was created later and viewers liked it so much that they relaunched the manga as a card game. Oh, what a history. Yeah, maybe the video will get into it as well. So we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, the manga is a lot darker than anime. Wait, I need to read the manga now. 漫画読まないとイカゲームみたいなんだって。めっちゃ読みたくなってきた。But the anime expanded on Kaiba's backstory. Oh, cool. And Kaiba's like a very popular character. I know one quote by Kaiba. You dare fight me with fruit! Anyways.
So by this point, it's fair to say that the format relied heavily on beatdown monsters with some support cards, as Legend of Blue Eyes had 4 powerful supports being Pot of Greed, Raigeki, Dark Hole, and Monster Reborn, while Meta Raiders had Change of Heart, Heavy Storm, and Mirror Force. The next set's Spell Ruler, however, known as Magic Ruler back in the day, shifted the powerhouse into spell cards instead, back then known as magic cards. This means the name Spell Ruler was not a letdown by any means at all. The set introduced 6 of the most powerful spell cards at the time. Delinquent Duo, Confiscation, The Forceful Sentry, Painful Choice, Snatch Steal, and Mystical Space Typhoon.
I love the Forceful Sentry art. It's just a guy like holding out his hand like, stop. Delinquent Duo is hella ugly. Oh my god.
These were so influential that 5 of these 6 are still completely broken and forbidden 18 years later in the year of 2020. Overall, all of these cards, as well as the aforementioned Legend of Blue Eyes and Meta Raiders cards, were placed on the limited list almost immediately, with some being placed on the first ever ban list in 2004, but that's for a future video.
Yeah, a lot of these cards, I am being told, are like very, they're either limited or banned now. So 禁止カードや、規制カードばかり。Yeah, stop, criminal scum. Exodia, it's impossible. No one ever managed to summon him.
The last set in 2002 was Pharaoh's Servant. While spell rulers specialized in spell cards, Pharaoh's servant dedicated itself to trap cards. While most of them were just downright terrible, it did introduce some more prominent ones such as Time Seal, Imperial Order, and Call of the Haunted. Two other popular cards from the set were Premature Burial and Jinzo. Three of these are still banned to this day.
There's so many banned cards. They're too. I don't know. Are they like too powerful? I guess in the grand scheme of things, you know, they weren't thinking too ahead at the time when they made it, and now it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't really work. Time Seal isn't banned anymore. Okay. Also, Kaiba quote is, "You're a third-rate duelist. Use your fourth-rate deck." Yeah, I know that quote too. 強いぞ、かっこいいぞ。They're working too well with the modern cards. Oh, that's actually cool. Yeah.
The set were Premature Burial and Jinzo. Three of these are still banned to this day, or would have been if it wasn't for an errata. You see, Imperial Order received an errata where you now don't get a choice to pay or not during your standby phase. Jinzo, however, was the first tribute monster to be able to rival Summon Skull. Essentially, in exchange for 100 less attack, it came with the ability to lock down your opponent from activating some of the most powerful trap cards, and this was such a powerful effect that the card was placed on the limited list for about 4 years up until 2007. Examples of powerful traps it could counter include Mirror Force, Call of the Haunted.
Wait, Jinzo is named that because he's a Jinzo Ningen. Oh, in Japanese, like a modified human. Oh, Jinzo Ningen, Psycho Shokka. I didn't even like catch that until like I was told in the comments. Cool.
2007. Examples of powerful traps it could counter include Mirror Force, Call of the Haunted, Dust Tornado, Imperial Order, Magic Jammer, Trap Hole, and Time Seal. Keep in mind these are only examples up until Pharaoh's Servant, but there's definitely plenty more that were released later. For now, I'm briefly going to talk about modern Yu-Gi-Oh! For a bit, because I have to make a point about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Has historically changed over the years. If you took a step back from Yu-Gi-Oh! For several years and then you chose to come back, probably the very first thing you will notice that is incredibly different now than back then can be said in two simple words.
What is it?
Special summoning.
Oh.
Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is pure chaos with special summoning and swarming, and it's actually sometimes fairly easy to perform.
The turn's taking forever. ターンが一生終わらないよこれ。
Chaos with special summoning and swarming, and it's actually sometimes fairly easy to perform up to 20 summons in a turn.
20?
If we look at the entire year of 2002, meaning its first 4 core sets and 2 starter decks, we have approximately 530 cards. Out of these 530 cards, do you know how many cards have some sort of special summoning effect? Meaning if they special summon themselves or if they special summon other cards, that fits the criteria of this definition. If you really
A lot of early Yu-Gi-Oh! Card names were English words in Japanese so that the English localization is just Japanese words. Oh! For example, the card Fireball in Japanese is called Hinotama in English. Oh, cool.
Themselves or if they special summon other cards, that fits the criteria of this definition. If you really want to try and guess, pause the video for a sec and guess. Okay.
Wait.
Done guessing.
Wait, I need to guess now. Wait, what are we guessing? Sorry.
Special summon themselves or if they special summon other cards, that fits the criteria of this definition. If you really want to try and guess, pause the video for a sec and guess. Okay.
I'm gonna guess number 100.
Done guessing? The answer is 38 cards,
Okay.
or 7.1% of
Okay, I overshot it.
530, which honestly wasn't as low as what I initially thought. But then I realized that 4 of these 38 are for ritual summoning very specific monsters, which means they don't have much leeway or flexibility for special summoning and storming in general. 3 of these are some of the most garbage specific special summoning conditions I've ever seen, so you'll probably never see these cards get special summoned anyways. 4 of these are shitty class A tunes, and 1 of them special summons to your opponent's side of the field because it serves a completely different purpose.
I like how there's all these like scary looking creatures and then there's like just an innocent looking hamster at the top. なんか全部ちょっとね、なんかなんていうのかな、キモいなんか怪物っぽいカードがいっぱいあるのに、上の左の方にね、可愛いハムスターがいるのめっちゃ面白い。There's little hamster. He's like, oh, I don't know why I'm here. I don't belong here. I don't know how I got here. Penguin Lord, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Well, that's unfair. Flower Guardians is a deck based on Hanafuda, so so of course they focus on only one player playing the game. Oh, there's like a Hanafuda game as well. What? I actually don't know how to play Hanafuda. Oh, Florian Cards is based on Hanafuda. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never played Hanafuda before, but I am aware that it's like a traditional Japanese card game. Thank you for the bits. Thank you. そう、当時は可愛いカードなんてなくて TRPG の裏側面が強いモンスターばかりだからね。そうだからなんか可愛いのがいると目立つ。Yeah, a lot of these cards are definitely not cute, but then there's just the cute hamster. Yeah. I always wanted to play Hanafuda. Yeah, I think I tried to learn at some point. I just couldn't get it. I gotta try again. You can go shop for your groceries and your opponent won't be done. Yeah, 27s.
And one of them special summons to your opponent's side of the field because it serves a completely different purpose. So realistically, a more accurate number would be 26, or 4.9% of 530. And you could technically throw an ultimate offering to that list as well, because while it doesn't special summon, it does let you normal summon multiple times in one turn, so it's up to you if you want to include that one for a total of 27 instead of 26. The point that I'm trying to make here is if you look at sets released nowadays, it's not very uncommon to see that at least 40 to 50% of the cards in that set have a special summoning effect in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
But regardless, it's very clear that this is one of the most vivid examples of power creep in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And one of the main factors as to why older decks simply cannot compete with the speed of newer decks.
I see.
Going back to the timeline and moving on to the year of 2003, the main powerhouse deck was still very clearly utilizing beatdown tactics. The first set in 2003, Labyrinth of Nightmare, introduced the game's first level 4 1900 beatstick, Gemini Elf. The set
waifus! Not just one waifu, you get two waifus.
continued to release new powerful trap cards back then, such as Torrential Tribute and Magic Cylinder, as well as some of the most powerful stat-boosting equip cards for many years to come, United We Stand and Mage Power. But among many things, Labyrinth of Nightmare introduced the game's first 1800 attacker with a powerful effect as well, Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. With the ability to banish opponents' monsters every time it caused battle damage, as well as preventing the opponent to banish cards themselves, Kaiku effectively rendered every other 1800 vanilla monster by this point inferior to it.
What? I wonder what is the highest attack card? Like, I wonder how much higher it's gonna get. Can we get much higher? Like, right now I'm seeing, 1800 I guess is the highest, but...
rendered every other 1800 vanilla monster by this point inferior to it. Kaiku was such a heavily played card, and it marked the beginning of what was to come in the trading card game. High attack monsters with powerful effects
there's
as well.
1900?
You see, by this point, powerful effects in monsters usually had a relatively weak stat, with the exception of Jinzo, of course. And so because of this, by this point, the majority of powerful effects were in all these aforementioned spell and trap cards that I mentioned in this video, as well as the new 2003 cards released such as Harpy's Feather Duster and Graceful Charity. But Kaiku, and to a lesser extent other cards such as...
I like the Harpy's Feather Duster name. I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's like a monster part.
Feather Duster and Graceful Charity. But Kaiku, and to a lesser extent other cards such as Bazoo the Soul Leader, set a new standard on what defines a good monster. Great stats and a great effect. Legacy of Darkness was perhaps the first set that spotlighted a key card that would forever change the way players approach dueling. But before I get to that, the set did also introduce several key support cards for different types.
Vanilla based without effects, I think highest is 5,000, 4,500. Oh, wait, that's true, because like if you take into account effects, it can get even higher. Yeah, that's true.
For example, Warriors got Marauding Captain, Exile Force, and a reinforcement of the army, known as Rhoda. Fiends got the power of Dark Ruler Hades, and zombie and spellcaster support was also prominent, especially in the few later sets after this one. But regardless, it was around this time when players were finally able to make type-specific decks, as the support was finally becoming more prominent for certain types.
I like the pyramid turtle. ピラミッドの亀かわいいかも。Wow. He looks pretty nice. Yeah, the turtle's drip. Yeah. I think there was another turtle card I saw earlier, but this one's cooler. The other one seemed like a smaller version of this guy. Yeah, it wasn't a pyramid on him. Yeah, was it the UFO turtle? Yeah, the other one I saw. Printed on a card is 5,000. With effect is 100,000. What? Oh my god, those are just numbers at this point.
Type-specific decks, as the support was finally becoming more prominent for certain types. Legacy of Darkness also introduced a few other iconic cards, such as Last Turn, Fiber Jar, and Air Knight Parshoth.
Wait, the fiber jar? Wait.
A few other iconic cards, such as Last Turn, Fiber Jar, and Air Knight Parshoth.
The fiber jar? Oh, wait, that looks just like Laputa from Castle in the Sky. Laputa なんだけど、どう見ても。どう見てもラストのシーンのラピュタ。Yeah. Barus. Yeah. It actually is. It's when it flies away. Anyways. エミさんは遊戯王の初心者ですか？そう、なんか一度しかプレイしたことない。なんかノバちゃんが教えてくれたけど、もうプレイの仕方忘れた。Yeah, I am a Yu-Gi-Oh noob. Yeah, I've only played the game like once and I don't think I fully understood it. Yeah.
Parshoth, two of which eventually got banned because they had broken-like effects used in combination with other cards. But above everything else, the iconic card of the set was Yatagarasu.
Oh, it's a bird. It's a crow.
The introduction of Yatagarasu was the very initial stages of finally seeing a new deck that could compete with Beatdown very consistently, and even better than it in some ways. The deck would eventually become the infamous hand control deck, and more specifically, the Yata Lock tactic. Utilizing popular powerful cards such as Confiscation, the Forceful Sentry, Delinquent Duo, and Time Seal, in combination with Drop Off, a card that was also released in Legacy of Darkness, in addition to Don's Alug from Pharaonic Guardian, the deck was an incredibly consistent force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
Yatagarasu could be searched with both Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest, who could both be searched by Mystic Tomato. Alternatively,
that tomato looks horrible. このトマトの顔が面白すぎる。I don't know, reminds me of like if angry no, it's not called the angry orange. What am I saying? The talking orange? Dude, I don't remember. If that guy was like, you know, kind of freaky. What is that tomato? Oh my god. He's doing the freak face, you know? 恐ろしいコンボだぜ。Oh, the annoying orange, yeah. How could I forget? Not the talking orange. The annoying orange! キラートマトあ、ヤタガラス禁止カードなんだ。Oh, rip ヤタガラス. Apparently it's a bad card. Japanese version of Mystic Tomato is super cute. Oh, wait, why did they make him so freaky in the English? 日本語のバージョン可愛かったんだ、あのトマト。なんで英語バージョンこんな顔してるんだろう。
And Witch of the Black Forest, who could both be searched by Mystic Tomato. Alternatively, these searchers could all be dumped into the graveyard or hand by Painful Choice, who could then be revived instantly by Monster Reborn, Call of the Haunted, or Premature Burial if they weren't selected by your opponent through Painful Choice. And many of these cards could be recycled through Magician of Faith or Mask of Darkness, two more cards that could also be searched by Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest. Do you see where I'm getting at? I think I made my point when I say that the deck was the very first milestone of the game, where crazy broken combos could be easily pulled to overwhelm your opponent before they even had a chance. Interestingly enough though, 2003 was not the year the deck achieved its peak power, as 2004 brought more support to make the lock even easier to achieve, but that's for the next video of course.
Oh, okay. Is this the end of... We're almost at the end. Yeah. Penguin Lords, thank you for the 100 bits. If you want cute cards, there's the Melfi cards. Yes, I do know the Melfi cards because that's the deck that Nova helped me build. Yeah. When she taught me how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, the Melfi cards are so cute. It's a group of cards about forest creatures that every time someone enters the forest, they get scared and run away before coming back with more friends. Yes. The pearly cards is about a Tamagotchi that changes how it grows depending on the memories you make with it. That's pretty cool. There's also the Hamstar and the Master of Ham. I think I've seen those ones as well. Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of cutie archetypes. Yeah, the cute ones. まあ可愛いやつもね、今だといっぱいあるよね、遊戯王カード。メルフィー可愛い。Yeah, the Melfi ones is so cute.
The last two 2003 sets introduced one last mechanic that in some ways was even more annoying to players than the Yadalock. And that is the premise of FTKs, which means first turn kill.
Oh.
Magician's Forest introduced Magical Scientist and Royal Magical Library, while the last set of the year, Dark Crisis, introduced a very notorious card.
Okay.
Butterfly Dagger Elma.
What does it do?
These three cards in combination with Exodia,
Exodia!
Metal Raiders Catapult Turtle, and Feral Servant Gearfried the Iron Knight.
And then there's another turtle. It's a catapult turtle now. Okay, yeah, I do know Exodia because there's a lot of memes about it. You know what I like? I like it when people make like Exodia checkies. なんかチェキでね、Exodia ね、作るとき好き。なんかアイドルチェキとかで。
Exodia, Metal Raiders Catapult Turtle, and Feral Servant Gearfried the Iron Knight created two separate infinite combos that would lead to FTKs.
I should make
If
Exodia
Magical Scientist and Catapult Turtle were on the field, you could essentially destroy your opponent in one single turn through tributing a bunch of fusion monsters. While if you had both Gearfried and Royal Magical Library on the field alongside Butterfly Dagger Elma in your hand, you could basically draw your entire deck in one turn by just repeatedly activating Butterfly Dagger over and over and over again.
That's broken! What do you mean there's no limit?
Both of these were incredibly annoying to deal with, but I will say, however, that these decks were not the most consistent thing in the world yet, as you couldn't really search out most of these cards fast enough. And if you did manage to FTK your opponent using one of these, I would have to say that for once, I agree with the typical whining statement, you just got lucky.
Imagine being on the receiving end of an FTK. Dude, I just feel like, this game sucks! Rage quit. FTK ってすごいね。
I would have to say that for once, I agree with the typical whining statement, you just got lucky. Because you did, and you managed to start with all your FTK pieces in your starting hand. Otherwise, you're not FTKing anybody. Still though, if you were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively in the latter half of 2003, I think it's fair to say that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was bullshit during these few months. If you weren't taking 6+ fusion monsters down your throat from a turtle, you were probably out in the streets protesting about how a little cute bird ruined your entire life. And I say all this because the fact that despite all these ridiculous combos were starting to take into effect, there was no official forbidden list in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yet. Sure, there were cards that were in the limited and semi-limited list, but that doesn't mean you couldn't play them and do your best to search them. You also couldn't play anti-meta cards as the meta barely existed during the initial years of the card game, and there simply wasn't a large enough card pool with cards to specifically counter problematic cards. Yu-Gi-Oh!'s first forbidden list was set in October of 2004, a step that was necessary as a direct response to 2004's first set, Invasion of Chaos. Want to know more about the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s timeline and format?
Yes.
Like and subscribe to stay tuned for the next episode.
Okay, cool. I hate that card. It got me killed in Master Duels. Wait, which one? Oh. Yeah, get packed. Our Knight destroys Alma when equipped. Alma returns itself to hand when destroyed. Repeat. Damn. It's crazy. Oh, the cute little ghost card. Yeah, okay. Oh. そう、この組み合わせがすごいよね。Yeah, I mean, I guess, makes sense. TCG is all about, kind of building synergy between your cards. And if you get extremely lucky, well, your opponent's in for a bad time. All right, part 2. 行くぞ! Let's watch part 2.
Welcome to another episode where we discuss the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! We last left off at the end of 2003 with the release of Dark Crisis.
Right, so this video is going to be 2004 to 2005. はい、2004年から2005年。次は。Penguin Lord, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you. The newest cute archetype is Yummy. Yummy? Which is about an alien cat trying to make friends by abducting other cats. Wait, what? Forcing them to become their friend? What? Okay, an alien cat trying to make friends by abducting other cats themed around ice cream, popcorn, cookies, and soda. The cards are based on crane games with the alien cat being the crane. Oh, and needing 100 life points like crane games need 100 yen to play. Wait, that's actually really cool. Wait, I gotta look this up. I like the alien cat abducting other cats. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yummy. I'm looking up the yummy. Oh, wow. Wait. This is very cute. What the heck? めっちゃ可愛いカードがいる. Wait, I love cats and I love aliens. You're telling me this is like the Glorp deck? I mean, they're not green, but I want this deck. Or I want to play these little guys. Let me show you guys a picture. ちょっと写真お見せします。めっちゃ可愛いんだけど. Thanks for telling me about them. Marshmallow yummy! I like the name. Look at that foil. So these guys are pretty recent, right? 結構新しいやつなのかな? Yummy surprise. They're so cute. I like that they have lore. Oh, I like that the cards have lore. Yeah, they're actually meta too. Hey, yo, I gotta play the alien cats. I asked Nova about the alien cats. Near cards is not only cute, but usable for comps. Yeah. ちょっと待って。Give me a second. Alright, there we go. Cool beans. 可愛いけど厄介な闇。プレイしてる方が厄介なの？それとも、相手だと、その闇の相手だと厄介なのかな? Lore and Yu-Gi-Oh cards are always a fun treat. I always like when cards have lore to them. Alright, let us watch.
Where we discuss the simplicity of the game in 2002 that focused on pure beatdown, and then eventually going into 2003 with the early stages of the hand control variant. The year of 2004, however, started out with a very strong start. The first set of the year, Invasion of Chaos, is known to this day as one of the most infamous sets in the entire history.
Wait, it's infamous? I mean, it's called Chaos. It better be. The yummies are complicated to run. Oh, プレイする側が厄介なカードなのね、ヤミーは。なるほど。It's time for chaos!
Of Yu-Gi-Oh! Wanna know why? Stick
I
around.
I do want to know why. Here we got the awesome music again.
Just to give you some examples of very famous cards introduced in this set, Gren Majida Eza is one of the game's most powerful cards stat-wise if used correctly in a deck. Dark Magician of Chaos, otherwise known as DMOC, is essentially a better spell card recycler than Magician of Faith, while also being a key playmaker in OTKs involving the Banish Zone. Manticore of Darkness was one of the more difficult monsters for your opponent to get rid of because it could abuse its effect with multiple copies of itself.
A lot of strong-looking beast characters here. Oh my gosh, Hiyo! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Raid arigato. Hello. How you guys doing? I'm Emuri, the otaku violinist of Glitchers Dreamers. Hiyori is from Glitchers Irunia. Please go send her some love as well if you're in my chat and I'm not subbed to her yet. Yeah, welcome in. Arigato. This is really 3 raids? What? Did I get a raid train? That's insane. Hello, guys. Hio, thank you so much. I hope you had a good stream. And get some rest after your stream. Yeah. はい、グッチサーズ所属。オタクバイオリニストのHiiragi Emuriだよ。よろしく。Today I am learning about the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're right now on part 2 of Delta Shiny Zeta's videos. To briefly explain, I am not a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I've only played Yu-Gi-Oh like once when my Gemme Nova taught me how to play. So I am pretty much, kind of learning about, all these cards for the first time. But learning about the history of stuff is also always interesting. So right now, I think we're on 2004 to 2005 right now for part 2. I will go rest up Ganban stream. Thank you. Yes, go get some rest. Go hydrate. You got rated choice while trying to end? That's insane! Everyone loves you, Hio. Thanks for sending the love over. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to the Nyakama, everyone. To those of you guys that don't know me, I am also streaming at the same time to Twitch. So feel free to catch me on whichever platform you'd like. Thank you. All right, back to the video. Was Nova a good teacher? Yeah, she even built me a deck. She built me a deck based around the dude, I already forgot. what was their name? It was mentioned in my chat. Oh yeah, Melfi, the Melfi cards, I think. But then I learned that there's the Yummy cards, which are like the alien cats, and now I'm very interested in them, but I heard they're kind of hard to play.
Manju of the 10,000
Wait, let me go back a bit. Yeah, let's start at the beginning of this section.
Set. Grand Majida Aza is one of the game's most powerful cards stat-wise if used correctly in a deck.
The set.
Dark Magician of
Infamous.
Chaos, otherwise known as Demok, is essentially a better spell card recycler than Magician of Faith, while also being a key playmaker in OTKs involving the Banished Zone. Manticore of Darkness was one of the more difficult monsters for your opponent to get rid of because it could abuse its effect with multiple copies of itself. Manju of the 10,000 Hands is one of the game's better ritual support cards. Smashing Ground is a better fissure in most cases.
Smashing Ground is when when you're fed up with your opponents following these combos with the chaos cards. That's when you smash the ground. Wait, are you the violin V2? Yeah, I am. Yes, I do play the violin. Hio plays the violin too. One day we will duet.
Dimension Fusion could lead to bullshit OTKs. Compulsory Evacuation Device, CED, was one of the game's better and more flexible trap cards for several years. And Chaos Sorcerer is basically just a nerfed version of one of the two other most devastating cards from this set, which I'll get into shortly.
Oh boy.
It's funny that I say it's a nerfed version, but it was still really, really good. Anyway, the majority of these cards found themselves on the ban list eventually in some way, shape, or form. Demok, for example, was limited from its release in 2004 until mid-2008, where it was finally forbidden from 2008 until 2015, when it eventually received an errata allowing it to retrieve the spell card during the end phase instead, while also giving it a hard once per turn clause to stop OTK abuse. Manticore was semi-limited from its release in 2004 until 2008.
I don't like the Manticore. He is too bulked up.
Smashing Ground was limited from 2007 to 2009. Dimension Fusion eventually got hit on the limited list in 2007 and then was forbidden from 2008 until present day in 2020. Compulsory Evacuation Device was actually hit later, between the years of 2013 to 2017 where it was limited. And Chaos Sorcerer, this one has had quite a roller coaster in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! It was forbidden from 2006 to early 2009, limited in 2009, then went to semi-limited later that year, then went back to limited in 2000.
Dude, this is so annoying. It's like constantly changing. いつも変わってるじゃん.
Then back to semi later in 2010, and finally unlimited in 2011 for 2 years, but then went back to limited right before 20.
Stop! What?
And finally unlimited in 2011 for 2 years, but then went back to limited right before 2013.
Dude.
Then back to semi in 2014, and it stayed semi-limited for another year and a half until 2015.
Guys, status check. Status check on the Chaos Sorcerer. What is it right now? What is it right now? Because this is insane.
Yeah, this one in particular has been really ridiculous, to be honest, but it's obvious that all of these cards have seen some level of success throughout the years.
Okay, he's unlimited right now. Got it.
Even Manju and Grand Majida Aza, who weren't on the list, are still very good cards to this day. However, among all these cards from Invasion of Chaos, there's two very prominent ones that stood out, being Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, and Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End.
I think I've heard of Chaos Emperor Dragon before. 右のカード聞いたことある気がする.
See, prior to Invasion of Chaos, cards that could special summon themselves were incredibly rare effects, as special summoning in general was a pretty rare feat by this point, as I had mentioned in part 1 of the series. There were a few spirit monsters, not those kinds of spirits, that could special summon themselves from the hand by banishing specific attribute monsters from the graveyard, and a lot of them weren't bad as they were decent beatsticks at the very least, but aside from these, this was almost a non-existent concept by this point. But these two, alongside Chaos Sorcerer, were very unique that they had this special summoning condition, and best of all, it wasn't even that difficult to achieve. These two cards had very high stats, incredibly powerful effects, and were easy to bring out. Their power was just so dominating that this led to one of the game's first Tier 0 decks in history, which was
Wait, what does Tier 0 mean?
That this led to one of the game's first Tier 0 decks in history, which was known as Chaos Control, also known as Chaos Yadala.
Oh, it means broken. Okay. It's a broken deck. Tier 0 means best of the best. SSS rank. Okay, gotcha. なるほど。めっちゃいいデッキ作れたのね。Yeah, it's like meta as hell. Okay. It means one deck is so dominant nothing else competes with it. Near invincible, broken enough to account for over 50% of the meta on its own. Damn.
A Tier 0 deck is defined by the Yu-Gi-Oh community
You answered my question.
as any deck that takes at least 65% of top spots in major Yu-Gi-Oh events.
Okay.
And these types of decks have been so rare throughout the game's history that it just shows you how powerful and popular Chaos Control actually was. Overall though, Chaos Control was honestly just an improved variation of the previous year's hand control, as the majority of the powerful spells untrapped for this deck were almost the exact same as before. The main difference was of course making sure to run light and dark monsters such as Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, or Reflect Bounder and Deity Warrior Lady from Dark Crisis.
Ooh.
Shining Angel and Mystic Tomato also worked to some extent,
Not
but
the
not
tomato!
all variations of the deck ran these.
Not the ugly tomato. Tier 0 means if you aren't playing it, then you lose. Oh, that's kind of annoying though, isn't it? I mean, it could be good if you have, the cards, but otherwise it's like, man, fuck me, I guess. このデッキを作れたら大会に優勝できる。なお、お小遣い。なるほどね。Why that tomato so freaky? That's what I'm saying! Why would they make him look like that?
All these cards obviously help to bring out the envoys on an easier level, while the ultimate game-ending combo revolved around using Chaos Emperor Dragon's effect, while either Witch of the Black Forest or Sangan were on the field. By utilizing this combo, you could effectively get rid of your opponent's entire field and hand, while also getting to search one monster, which should be Yada Garasu. Then summon Yada and attack, and the game is over to the Yada lock, because your opponent has nothing on the field and nothing in the hand. That's it. Unsurprisingly, it was actually pretty easy to pull off, and quite honestly didn't require that much skill to use this deck. As a fun fact for all of you watching this that have actually taken a break from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Chaos Emperor Dragon is no longer on the ban list today. I know what you're thinking, what the fuck, seriously? What? Well, that's actually because it received an errata in 2014, where you can no longer activate any other effects that Trini uses effect. This makes the card incredibly slow to use effectively in combos, to the point where nobody really plays this errata version.
Yeah.
For example, you can't use a Witcher Sangan effect on the same turn that you use Chaos Emperor Dragon. That's only one example, but there's plenty more. But overall, this is actually why Konami decided to remove it from the ban list completely, because nobody was playing it anymore.
He got nerfed so hard. Yeah. Also, I was asked if the Mystic Tomato is the equivalent of Japan's killer tomato. So Mystic Tomato は日本のキラートマトかね。And then I pulled up a picture. ちょっと写真撮ってきたんですけど、キラートマトのがまだ可愛いよ。Look at the killer tomato. He just looks like a tomato, but it's like a jack-o'-lantern? なんかハロウィンのかぼちゃに見えるこのトマト。Imagine carving your tomato like this. Still less freaky looking than Mystic Tomato though. Yeah. It's a Japanese art for tomato. Yeah, this one's I like this one better. I mean, but it just looks like a pumpkin though at that point. Yeah, I don't know why for the English version they're like, we're gonna make the art look extra freaky. Penguin Lords, thank you for the 100 bits. Arigato. The funny thing is that the art for tomato is for international players. The Japanese tomato looks a lot less creepy. I like how just as you said that, I was pulling up the picture since you guys are talking about it in chat. Yeah, it is a lot less creepy. Like, why did they make him so freaky for the international? But, whatever. It was changed to avoid looking like killer tomatoes from outer space. What? All right, thank you again for 100 bits.
talk about making one of the game's most powerful and iconic cards a complete joke, huh?
Yeah.
Well, erratas happen, and I have my own opinions about that, but that's definitely going to be for a future video. So as the year went on, more sets were released, being Ancient Sanctuary, Soul of the Duelist, and Rise of Destiny. But to be perfectly honest, it wasn't a big deal, as there was nothing released for the majority of 2004 that could compete with Chaos Control. Sure, there were some individually powerful cards from each set, such as Enemy Controller or the introduction of the Monarchs, but there was no complete deck that could rival the current meta.
I like the controller card because it's like an actual game controller. It's cute.
However, in October of 2004, it finally happened.
Oh?
Salamangreats arrived.
Oh.
Just kidding, it was actually Yu-Gi-Oh's first ever Forbidden list. Once again, remember that by this point, all that was done to limit the power of powerful cards was to place them on the semi-limited or limited list, but there were no Forbidden cards in the game. But this new list changed everything. There were 13 cards on this ban list, with many of them being powerful staples that could basically work on any deck. But to stop Chaos Control specifically, the 4 monsters that were hit were perhaps the most noteworthy.
Yeah, these were like the big cards that like everyone was trying to play in the deck, right? Yeah, rip. Chaos Emperor Dragon, Sangan, Witch of the Black Forest, and Yatagarasu.
Key cards used for the infamous combo I mentioned previously were now all forbidden. So you're probably thinking, oh, so that's it for Chaos decks, right? Actually, no, not quite. You see, Chaos Emperor Dragon being banned was perhaps the best thing that could have happened to Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, as it was previously known as the second in command to Envoy of the End. But with its ban, BLS became the new ace sponsor of the new Chaos deck.
Okay.
So yes, Chaos decks were still prominent for the remainder of 2004 and the beginning of 2005
Gotcha.
by using BLS in combination with powerful hand control cards and the popular Magical Scientist. However, in spring of 2005, the second ban list hit, and this is the ban list that hit the last several broken cards: the Forceful Sentry, Confiscation,
not the Sentry!
Painful Choice, Fiber Jar, and Magical Scientists were now officially forbidden. But some cards, strangely enough, like Delinquent Duel and Sangan, were removed from the forbidden list.
The ugly ones! The ugly ones get removed! 何もできず泣くことしかできないからやったからさ。Yeah, people use both of them in their chaos decks. Hiiragi, I'm curious to ask this. Have you ever used any physical Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG cards before? I have some that have been gifted to me over the years, but no, I have never actually played the physical card game before. So まあ、もちろんね、なんかプレゼントとかでいただいた遊戯王カード持ってるけど、シングル。でもね、カードゲーム、TCG を、そのフィジカルでプレイしたことはないです。オンラインしかやったことない。Yeah, I've only tried playing on Master Duel before when Nova taught me, so.
Ultimately, that wasn't a huge deal, but it was a pretty interesting move there. But overall, this was the ban list that maneuvered the game to begin the very iconic GOAT format.
Cute!
Also known as the Tom Brady format. The Brady format lasted for an entirety of 6 months from April to September of 2005.
6
The
months.
majority of the community agrees that this specific format is one of the more skill-based formats in Yu-Gi-Oh's entire history.
Wait, it only lasted 6 months? 半年しかなかったね。Tom Brady format. GOAT format really is the GOAT?
While many argue that it's also the most fun format. While they're both opinions, I can definitely see the quote most fun comment being much more subjective, as the format might not be for everyone, but the quote most skillful comment having a lot more truth behind it. You see, the entire premise of the format required players to maximize card value during specific times and turns in order to generate a win.
Okay.
A feat that was incredibly difficult to perfect. The skill factor of modern Yu-Gi-Oh, however, is essentially memorizing long lines of play. In other words, summon what first to special summon X to special summon Y.
This is kind of the issue I have with a lot of trading card games. Like, I just cannot for the life of me remember, all these. I know it's like a skill issue. It's a skill issue. You play a lot, then I guess you eventually start to remember it. But like, I just can't memorize all this. Yeah. Penguin Lords, thank you so much for the 100 bits to explain how it felt to play against Yatta Lock. Imagine if someone cut off your arms and legs and then released one wasp to sting you to death. Not a horde, not a nest, not a group, one wasp to kill you. This is some fucked up torture method. Yeah. Thank you for the explanation. Yeah, the older the card game, the longer the list of stuff to remember. Yep. いやね、TCG のこういうところが一番難しいんだよね。やっぱり全部コンビネーションとか全部なんか覚えるの。まあそれは覚えるしかないけどさ。そりゃ、でも私にはちょっと難しかったりする。Also, is that a Lego? Is that freaking Lego Dragon? ちょっとレゴのキャラがいるんだけど、レゴっぽい。The Block Dragon. They're like, what if dragon, but it's built out of Legos.
Lines of play. In other words, summon what first to special summon X to special summon Y, then activate the spell card to special summon Z, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
GOAT format had a much less emphasis on memorizing long lines of play, as that was pretty much non-existent during this time.
Oh, so this is why the GOAT format is the GOAT. Because you don't have to do all that. You don't have to do the typical TCG shenanigans. Do people still play the GOAT format? Just for fun? Yeah, I know it's like not competition probably, but you know. Lucario, thank you so much for your first time message. Welcome in. Yeah, we're learning about Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. I am a newbie. Nice to meet you. I'm Emuri, the otaku violinist from Glitcher Streamers. Yoroshiku. 信じられるかこの子たち岩なんだぜどういうこと岩なのはGoat format is named after the card scapegoat. Not for me. Some people do. Okay. Lego Dragon is not real. He can't hurt you.
But instead focus on getting the best out of your current cards as they get used, as you couldn't burn through half your deck in a single turn like modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And this format was even slower than the previous Chaos Control dominance, mainly because the majority of the powerful broken cards got forbidden. There were a few decks that ruled GOAT format, such as Flip Control decks, Zombie Chaos, Machine Beatdown, and Monarchs. But the most prominent was GOAT Control.
Yay! There it is! The scapegoat card. Aw. 可愛いんだけどな. It's cute. That World Championship 2011 music, my favorite. Oh, is that what the music is? It is good. Yeah, I've heard it before. I didn't know that's what it was, though. Allow me to welcome you to one of the best card games ever, also the beginning of hell. All TCG is hell. This is just a fact.
Which inspired the GOAT format name, of course. Despite GOAT Control being the most prominent though, it was by no means the sole dominating force like what Chaos Control did in the previous format, as one of the most beloved elements of GOAT format was that there was so much flexibility on what a player could do to try and create the most strategically powerful deck. Archetypes didn't rule Yu-Gi-Oh! Like nowadays, and in many cases, player skill was more of a deciding factor in the outcome of a duel.
That's a cool
and much
card.
less on what your starting hand was or if you went first or second. GOAT Control focused on utilizing Scapegoat with Metamorphosis in order.
Ew! The hell is that card? Sorry, the whiplash of looking at the cute little goats and then the hell is this? I mean, I guess it suits the name of the card. Aw. 可愛くてリリースなんかの上級モンスター出せないけど、悪用散々、できたからね。なるほど。Yeah, surprise body horror, right? Is that supposed to be like a cat? It's like a person morphing into a cat? I don't know. 羊が恐ろしい姿に変化するコンボ。これ羊が変化してるの嘘でしょ Wait, no! Don't tell me the goats are transforming. No! That's my image, my cute little image of them is shattered.
First or second.
Oh man.
GOAT Control focused on utilizing Scapegoat with Metamorphosis in order to generate Thousand Eyes Restrict to maintain field control. Zombie Chaos utilized cards like Vampire.
Wait. Tell me the goat undergoes metamorphosis and becomes this creepy. Oh my god, Thousand Eyes Restrict. I don't like this. I don't like this. 恐ろしいんだけど What the? The goat is ruined for me.
Thousand Eyes Restrict to maintain field control. Zombie Chaos utilized cards like Vampire Lord, Book of Life, Pyramid Turtle, and Spirit Reaper in combination with typical Chaos cards to generate advantage. Flip Control capitalized on Tsukuyomi and Book of Moon's powerful effects to recycle Night Assailant, Morphing Jar, and Deslakuta. The former of which was an anti-hand control card, as it could bypass effects like Delinquent Duo, Spirit Reaper, or Donza Luke. Monarchs used, well, monarchs. Their tribute them and powerful effects don't exactly need an explanation, but there were powerful recyclers then, such as Sinister Serpent. And cards like these is exactly what made Monarchs stay in the competition. And lastly, Machine Beatdown was at its early stages of what was soon to come, but it still performed well during this format because limited removal was unlimited, allowing for powerful OTKs every now and then. However, during September 2005, GOAT format officially ended.
RIP.
The first reason was because of the next ban list. September's ban list included the complete ban of Sinister Serpent, Graceful Charity, Delinquent Duo, and finally, BLS.
I
That's
see.
right. This card
It was coming for it, I guess.
finally got forbidden. In addition to these bans, Scapegoat, Metamorphosis, Thousand Eyes Restrict, Night Assailant, Tsukuyomi, Book of Moon,
They get
and
limited?
removal all got limited, thus significantly slowing down the strategies of all these decks and making them much more inconsistent. The second reason for GOAT format's end was because of the release of one card from Cybernetic Revolution that would eventually change the game forever.
Oh?
Cyber Dragon.
Oh, wait, I know this guy. Yeah, I think this was a pretty famous one too. これは知ってる、見たことあります。
Cyber Dragon was released in August 2005, and little did we know that its effect was essentially perhaps the most inspiring card design ever for modern Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
You see, the card effectively changed the way players would approach their first turn rather than just a pure straight-out summon, or else they would only be pulverized by this thing the following turn. And so it also generated you advantage for going second. However,
that's cool.
if you look at its effect on a deeper level, you should see a significant amount of resemblance to most main deck monsters with special summoning conditions in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! For example, let me translate it for you. If you have field disadvantage, you can special summon this card from your hand. That's basically what it translates to.
Okay.
Knowing that context, if you take a look at many monsters nowadays, you'll see something almost identical. If your opponent controls more monsters than you, bam, special summon. If you control no monsters, bam, special summon. If you control no back row, bam, special summon. If there's X many monsters on the field, bam, special summon. Noticing an inspiring trend here? I could keep going and going, but I'd be here all day. But yes, it's true that this kind of shit started back in 2005.
So I guess this was introduced to have more balance in the game, right? Oh. Yeah, Hell Kaiser's main monster. Oh, I see, I see. So, Cyber Dragon. Oh, かっこいい.
Obviously on a much more simplistic level, but even then, Cyber Dragon made a huge impact on the metagame, as the only other card that had an effect similar to Cyber Dragon before this was the Fiend Mega Cyber. And while that card is not bad by any means, it's no Cyber Dragon,
He looks like a banana.
nor is it the same special summoning condition as many modern Yu-Gi-Oh cards as well. But with Cyber Dragon allowing you to bypass tribute summoning in order to get a high attack monster on the field while not even making you use your normal summon, was the first of several steps that caused the game to speed up on a ridiculous level eventually. And that's basically where 2005 leaves off, as Elemental Energy didn't really provide key game-changing cards. Sure, it introduced iconic cover cards like Shining Flare Wingman, but nothing noteworthy. But overall, we definitely did start to witness a slightly different approach from players that required more aggressive tactics and planning rather than just a simple set one monster, set one back row, and my turn.
Yeah.
This new playstyle would overall be translated for the next couple years, but that's going to be for the next video. Want to know more about the history of Yu-Gi-Oh's tournament formats? Like and subscribe to stay tuned for the next episode.
All right, that's the end of 2005. Next is 2006 to 2007. I do find it interesting how this video is going through like every single I guess booster set that came out. I was not expecting that, but it's kind of interesting to learn about like what cards came out with each booster and stuff, right? And then we see like all the iconic ones and stuff. Yeah, it was basically a comeback mechanic. I feel like you need to have that in a card game, right? Yeah. I mean, maybe you don't need to, but I think it's nice to have that. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool history. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna actually run to the bathroom real quick. はい、I'm gonna take a short break here. ちょっとね、ここで休憩取ります。はい、帰ってきたら、パート3を見ていきますので、ちょっと待っててね。Alright, I'll be back, guys. BRB. Go listen to some violin in the meantime. ただいま I'm back. Thank you for waiting. お待たせしました。Oh my god, yeah, Archer, thank you for reminding everyone. Yes, I will be doing a full violin stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you guys are interested in hearing more violin, we're going to be doing some springtime tunes. Sometimes I take requests. Tomorrow, I'm not so sure yet. I need to go over my list of songs I want to play tonight. そう、バイオリンね、もっと聞きたい方はね、明日私バイオリン配信やります。はい。よかったら、見に来てください。Yes, I like to play a lot of any song and game OSTs. So yeah, you'll be hearing most of that. Maybe a lot of tunes that will be familiar. So feel free to stop by. Yeah, they are kind of special streams since I don't do them too often. Yeah, thank you for waiting, everyone. Hi, thank you. I was asked what is my Oshi card in the OG Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know if I have one just because I didn't play OG Yu-Gi-Oh. I feel like I require more information, but so far I like the pyramid turtle and the hamster. I like the hamster because it's literally just a hamster, but you know I don't know any of the card effects or anything like that. All the good OG Oshi cards got censored. So true. Oh, are you talking about like the girl cards and stuff? Yeah, like Dark Magician Girl and stuff. Yeah, I think I saw some people mention that like it didn't make its way to the West End and stuff. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, that's too bad. Silent Magician over Dark Magician Girl. Look up Silent Magician. Okay, let me look her up. Silent Magician level 8. Silent Magician level 8. Oh, wait, I have seen her before, I think. She's definitely she's less waifu. She's less waifu. She's more like elegant. Yeah. This one didn't get censored, right? Yeah, I mean it makes sense. It's out in English. Yeah. I love my kuderes, yeah. I like the art a lot. I like the art a lot on that card. Even the author was not happy with censorship either. I mean, I wouldn't be. Yeah. Yeah, Silent Magician is peak. Yeah, a lot of people can agree that Silent Magician is good. Moody, that's not a hamster though, just a rat. Oh, it's not a hamster? That's the same difference. It's like the same color. I don't know. Rats are fine too, I guess. I have a kohai that's basically a rat. Anyways, let's continue with part 3. Hi, Pato san, ikimasu. 2006 to 2007 for the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Welcome to another episode where we discuss the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! We last left off at the end of 2005 during the post-GOAT format era when we witnessed the emergence of Cyber Dragon. By this point in the game began to steer away from the so-called classic or original era into the beginning of the GX era. For the meta, the year of 2006 was the true introduction of the era of OTKs. In other words, decks that could consistently deal 8,000 plus damage to the opponent in one turn. Want to know how? Stay tuned to find out.
I'm assuming 8,000 is a lot. I forgot how much damage you need to end the game again. Dude, I don't even remember how to play this game. I played it, I don't remember. How much damage was it? How many life points do you have? You have to get the life points down to 0. 8,000 or more. Okay. Gotcha. Oh. Wait. And he just said 8,000? And the anime is 4,000 and TCG is 8,000. Okay, so it's double. Yeah, the anime was 4,000. You're right. 本格的なカードゲームとして洗練し始めた時代の到来だ。Yeah. I don't know anything about the GX series. In Limited, each player starts with 4,000. Oh, so it depends on the mode. Okay, cool. Yeah, but basic life points is 8,000. Got it. Here we go. What game is this? I'm assuming this is game footage.
The end of 2005 still had Chaos decks, but this time, Chaos Sorcerer was the new face meant to replace Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the beginning. But by this point, the sheer number of limits and bans on this deck severely limited its potential power to the point where it was no longer a dominating force. The deck was only a shell of what it once was, and it desperately needed new support and combos if it wanted to bounce back. Going back to Cyber Dragon, during this time it was obviously a major staple as mentioned in the last video, but alongside it during the beginning of 2006, a common tactic was to throw multiple copies of it on decks that used powerful 1-for-1 removal cards. One deck that benefited the most from this was a Warrior Toolbox deck. The deck used DD Warrior Lady, DD Assailant, and Exile Force, all of which are 1-for-1s which are also searchable by a reinforcement of the army, which was not limited at the time. These cards used in conjunction with staple spell and traps such as Smashing Ground, Sakuretsu Armor, and Widespread Ruin actually made the deck quite formidable indeed. These 1-for-1 removal decks were highly experimented with during this time, but the Warrior version outshined all the others. However, the first core set of 2006, Shadow of Infinity, introduced an important resource for another deck,
scary looking guy.
Monarchs. The card was Treeborn Frog, and its release saw
on the left and right, there's like crazy strong looking monarchs, and in the middle, Forg. Angel Forg. Oh, yeah, how does this work?
For another deck, Monarchs. The card was Treeborn Frog, and its release saw a rise in Monarchs in the meta due to how easy it was to summon their two most popular monarchs, Mobius and Zaborg.
Okay.
However, there was one more deck that gradually and rather covertly came out of nowhere early this year. Cyberstein OTK.
Frankenstein, but Cyber. すごく強いカエル。そうなんだ。Can't underestimate the frog based on its looks, I guess. Yeah, most of the frogs are banned or limited. The frogs are busted, I see. There are some interesting things that happened that made the deck and life have limits. Gotcha. Okay. 出たわね。そう。The frog's OP though.
Originally a difficult prize card to obtain, Cyberstein was released in early 2005 in Dark Beginning 2, and was unlimited since its release. So you may be wondering, why didn't Cyberstein see any play before this? To understand this, we need to realize one thing. Metamorphosis was unlimited during GOAT format until finally being limited in October. Most players preferred not paying 5,000 life points in exchange to being a little more limited on what you could summon from the fusion deck. But since October, players slowly experimented with Cyberstein until its powerful emergence in early 2006. The release of Cybernetic Revolution also granted Stein OTK a more consistent combo.
Okay.
You see, the set introduced both Cyber Twin Dragon and Cyber End Dragon.
Yeah, I know the Cyber End Dragon. These are so iconic. これは知っていますよ。
Used in combination with either Megamorph or Limiter Removal, either of these cards generated a simple OTK if the opponent didn't have any back row to deal with your turn. 4,000 times 2 is exactly 8,000, whereas 5,600 times 2 is well over 8,000. So as a quick recap, the three top decks by this point are Warrior Toolbox, which uses a vast number of options for 1-for-1 removal, Monarchs, which use Mobius and Zaborg alongside Treeborn Frog, and Cyberstein OTK.
Which one is your guys' favorite? Or did any of you guys play these decks? I'm pretty sure, you know, some of you guys have been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while, so. この中ではみんなどれが好きかな? Cyber OTK? Yeah, that one seems popular, doesn't it? It seems cool, too. Yeah. I'm interested in the frog one. Yeah. Cyber End Dragon. Chunies love the Cyber. I was too poor for these cards. That is so real. Because if the cards are good, they're going to be more expensive to get, right? I do wonder. I wonder how much they ran for back at the time. Nowadays, we got the new Cyber End Dragon, which can get 8,000 attack and attack 3 times. Even defend, you still get hurt. Wow. The new card is really too powerful. That sounds really powerful, yeah. I did see some... I think I saw the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster when I was in Japan and looking at card shops. I think it came in like 2 different colors, like the boxes. But I heard that there's a pretty powerful card in there. Is that the one you guys are talking about? I don't know. 遊戯をね、最近新しいブースター出ましたよね、日本で。 日本にいた時見ました。うん。Yeah. TLDR Neos is basically Ultraman. Yeah. That's awesome.
Which used Cyber Mobius and Zaborg alongside Treeborn Frog, and Cyberstein OTK, which used Cyber Dragon Fusion Engine. Two of these decks were hit fairly hard. The limiting of DD Assailant and Treeborn Frog in April 2006 hampered the two former decks mentioned, but Stein OTK was untouched. So, does this mean Stein OTK had no competitors? Actually, it kind of did. You see, Chaos decks were still lingering, and the fact that Chaos Sorcerer was unlimited during this time really led players to experiment his summon banishes with a rather nifty card known as a Return from the Different Dimension.
Oh, that's a cool sounding card. It's a trap card. Nails is literally alternate. I'm looking up Nails real quick. Yuki. I want to play Nails. I want to play Ultraman, I want to play Ultraman. Oh my god, he's literally doing the pose! What? Is this real? Oh. Wait, is this even the one? これ本当にウルトラマンのポーズやってるよ。Yeah, sorry, this is a little bit off topic here. I can't even download the image. Wait a minute. Let me try that again. It won't. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Oh god. This guy. He is literally Ultraman. Power Up. The name of the song is The Power. The name of the card is The Power Up. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I just wanted to take a look at it. Oh, it's not that one. Really? Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! 違った?違ったんだ. Okay, wait. Oh, wait, no, it's this one. Okay. He's got the circle in his chest, too. Okay, so I guess they like to make references like that. But this is the card. Sorry, this is the Nails card, I think. I want to hear Nails. He's a very buff man. Oh, I mean, as are a lot of characters in this trading card game. なるほど、そっちなのね。はい。ウルトラマンのなんていうのかな、似てるやつありますね。Oh, the one that I was showing you guys was a movie card promo. Oh, gotcha.
This card left the duels also ending on an OTK basis, as it would allow the player to special summon all those monsters that got banished by various Chaos Sorcerers or the two deities as well. So yes, I hate to say this, but
wow.
Chaos decks saw yet another comeback during this time, and this time being labeled as a Chaos Return deck. Aside from the aforementioned cards, this deck would also commonly run Zaborg, Cyber Dragon, and even the Koichi the Battle Chanted Locomotive, as all of these were either light or dark attribute and would eventually come back through Return from a Different Dimension.
Chaos is back, baby!
Back to the mostly unaffected Cyberstein OTK strategy, the deck saw the emergence of a card that recently got limited in April, Last Will. Last Will was not forbidden by this point, but Stein decks also started to run Zaborg to use another alternative OTK strategy.
What a card name.
The combo only required 3 cards, only 2 of which need to be specific, Zaborg and Last Will both in the hand, as well as any one monster on your field. Simply tribute summon Zaborg to destroy your opponent's powerful monster with its effect. Activate Last Will because your tributed monster just went to the graveyard this turn. Special summon Cyberstein from the deck because it has less than 1500 attack, so it's a viable target for Last Will. Pay 5000 life points to bring Cyber Twin Dragon out, which can attack twice for 5600 damage, while Zaborg attacks for 2400, and bam, that's exactly 8000 damage.
Your opponent's dead! Wait, that's so cool!
By the summer of 2006, this was by far the most used combo in the game, and the nationals during this time were cluttered with all these key cards in almost every player's deck.
Everyone's trying to pull off the same combo. なるほど、強いコンボですね。
Let's get to what you've been waiting for, the September 2006 ban list. Yes, you heard me right, September and not October. Prior to this ban lists were released on April and October of every year, but Konami decided to change it to September and March starting this year to be more in line with the OCG.
I didn't know ban lists had like a timeline of when they come out.
Anyway, this ban list placed Chaos Sorcerer on the forbidden list to keep Chaos Return in check. However, Cyberstein was still unlimited. So I know what you're thinking, Stein OTK dominated this format? The answer is mostly yes, correct. This meant the Monarch control variants and the Zaborg/Last Will combo were the most prevalent during this time. Monarch decks experimented with the Princess Magician, Gravekeeper Spy, Mystic Tomato, and always ran Treeborn Frog, obviously. And all these factored
I like how the tomato is still around.
into the deck's success. The three first ones being solid floaters led to Monarch decks being more aggressive than before, especially when used with three prominent spell cards, Brain Control, Creature Swap, and Soul Exchange, all of which contributed to the deck's rising power. By this point, Shadow of Infinity, Enemy of Justice, and Power of the Duelist had already been released, but the year's last core set, Cyberdark Impact, released in November, released a key card that created another prominent
So
deck,
many boosters.
Chain Strike. Prior to this, stall burn decks were definitely a thing, but they never really dominated the scene.
Wait, let me read the card effect. Activate only as chain link 2 or higher. Inflict 400 damage to your opponent times the chain link number of this card. Oh, times the chain link number. You cannot activate this card if multiple cards effects with the same name are in that chain.
Prior to this, stall burn decks were definitely a thing, but they never really dominated the scene. But this new deck relied on cards that can easily chain, such as Accumulated Fortune, Secret Barrel, Ceasefire, Just Desserts, Jar of Greed, and Poison of the Old Man.
What is that Just Desserts card? Also, the Old Man and Poison of the Old Man. Oh my god, he is crusty. And there's a Jar of Greed. I didn't know there's a Jar of Greed. Unfortunately, the tomato is very useful. Unfortunately. I'm like, get this tomato out of here, but he keeps coming back.
The deck was a very good counter against Stein OTK, as it was very easy to inflict at least 3,000 points of damage to the opponent, to the point where they couldn't use Cyberstein's effect anymore. In addition, the deck didn't use many monsters, so Zaborg was usually a dead card in the hand considering its effect is mandatory, and if the opponent doesn't have any monsters, you must destroy one of your own on its summon. The last deck that started to gain some attention was Dark World. Dark World cards had continued support throughout 2006's core sets, and the archetype focused on beneficial effects when discarded. This worked especially well on the popular cards such as Dawn's Allure, Spirit Reaper, Confiscation, and Thestalos the Firestorm Monarch. It wasn't meta-defining, but it did start to see more and more popularity in Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments as 2006 came to a close. The last month of the year, December, saw the TCG's first so-called, quote, emergency ban list.
Emergency ban list. Oh, so is this like instead of like, you know, the seasonal ban list, they're like, oh no, this needs to be banned now. バンがいっぱいありますね。
These ban lists have historically been defined as a necessary measure to stop problematic cards, and Konami made quick work to completely place Cyberstein from unlimited to forbidden.
Oh no!
Yes, not limited, forbidden.
Cyberstein!
Talk about a huge shift to the meta for 2007.
Rest in peace.
The beginning of 2007 started with forcing players to find alternative ways to OTK the opponent. Chaos Sorcerer was banned, which prevented the Chaos Return OTK from working, and Cyberstein was banned, which prevented the Cyber Dragon fusion-centered OTKs from working. Or did it? Well, players quickly found an alternative way to use powerful fusions. Future Fusion, Limiter Removal, Power Bond, and Megamorph saw a rise in usage in combination with Cyber End Dragon and Cyber Twin Dragon, while the newly discovered Chimera Tech Over Dragon was used in combination with Overload Fusion.
Dude, this dragon just keeps growing more heads.
The main combo of the deck involved using Future Fusion to dump a bunch of machines into the graveyard, then use Overload Fusion to use all those in the graveyard to get a powerful Chimera Tech Over Dragon, which when buffed with Megamorph or Limiter Removal could easily OTK the opponent. Considering the card gets 800 attack per material, all you needed was 5 machines with Overload Fusion, and then either Limiter Removal or Megamorph for 8,000 attack. Alternatively, if you didn't have Limiter Removal or Megamorph, you could just simply use 10 machines with Future Fusion and then banish all of those. The rest of the deck relied on drawing into these 2 fusion cards as well as running back removal cards, because that's honestly all you needed for the OTK.
I forgot that like Yu-Gi-Oh can be a pretty fast game because you can like, you know, unleash a 8,000 attack in one turn and kill your opponent. Yeah, it can be pretty fast paced. I remember Nova was telling me that and stuff.
Another noteworthy mention in early 2007 was the introduction of the gadgets. 3 little machine monsters that
Wait, these guys are cute! かわいいじゃん. The mecha lover in me is like, oh, machines, cute. Yeah. Because there's no resource management holding you back. Most other TCGs require resources to do stuff. Oh, that is true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Early 2007 was the introduction of the gadgets. 3 little machine monsters that did an exceptional job at maintaining card advantage throughout turns. Gadgets were commonly thrown in decks here and there and were commonly used with the increased popularity of Snipe Hunter for discard fodder. In addition, Destiny Hero Malicious and Elemental Hero Stratos were recently released, which would go on to destroy the format for a few months this year. Airblade Turbo, eventually known as Diamond Dew Turbo, would utilize Monster Gate and Reasoning to dump the graveyard with warriors which could all easily be banished with Divine Sword Phoenix Blade. Then all be brought back really easily with Dimension Fusion for an easy OTK. Graceful Charity.
That's so interesting. Like you send them to your graveyard and then like bring them all back. Yeah, that's a cool mechanic.
They Draw and the newly released Disc Commander were great support draw cards that made the deck a lot more consistent. And coupled with 3 Stratos search capabilities, the deck dominated the meta for months. The next ban list still made some major changes to the current format.
Yeah, the hero cards are cool looking.
March 2007, Overload Fusion, Chain Strike, and Graceful Charity were all forbidden, thus affecting Chimera Tech OTK, Chainburn, and also killed the momentum Dark Roll had going. Stratos also became limited, which meant Monarchs prevailed once again, but luckily nothing else major was hit in the Diamond Dew Turbo deck. With Monarchs, they started to use Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Master and Gravekeeper Spy a lot more, while also using multiple copies of Soul Exchange and Brain Control, thereby being named as Soul Control Monarch. In addition, in May, they received Rise of the Storm Monarch from Force of the Breaker, a monarch that had non-destruction and non-banishing removal, which was a huge threat and upgrade to the deck. Aside from Soul Control Monarch and Diamond Dew Turbo, Bazoo Trooper was a rising star deck.
The monkey's back! The hero card かっこいいよね. Yeah, the hero card's got good, cool art. Hi Maru, welcome in. Did you get to Max C yet? Wait, what's Max C? I don't think so. Hello. We're on part 3. We're learning about the TCG from 2006 to 2007 currently. Thanks for coming.
Deck used the newly released Card Trooper in conjunction with Machine Duplication and Bazoo the Soul Eater to banish a bunch of monsters that were milled by Card Troopers, and then either return from the different dimension or Dimension Fusion could lead to an OTK. In an alternate method, the 3 Card Troopers on the field could each go up to 1900 attack on the same turn, then use limited removal for an OTK. Either of these strategies were really useful, but not as amazing as Soul Control Monarch and Diamond Dew Turbo, but it was a pretty viable contender overall.
Okay.
The 4th and final deck that rose to power during this time was Demise OTK, due to the release of...
He's got so much aura! Demise OTK.
And final deck that rose to power during this time was Demise OTK, due to the release of Strike of Neo's Advanced Ritual Art. The deck revolved around using Advanced Ritual Art, Demise King of Armageddon, Manju and or Senju, Doomdozer, Megamorph, and a bunch of vanilla insects such as...
Oh, not the insects! No! Kimoi, kimoi, kimoi! Ew! I don't want to see them! The one on the left is so gross! Love your outfit, thank you so much! This isn't my main outfit, but this is my other outfit. Thank you. 虫のカード出てくるんだ。
Insect Knight, Neo Bug, and Metal Armored Bug.
Okay, they're not too bad looking since they're like, you know, kind of gadgety, but yeah, this is definitely not a deck I'm playing. Oh, interesting.
The rest of the deck was just battle traps and powerful staple spells. The OTK was rather easy and only required 2 to 3 cards on hand for dominance, or 4 total for an OTK.
I really do like the concept of an OTK. I mean, if you're the opponent and you're getting hit by this shit, then that sucks. But like, I like that in this game, like you can do like a feels good turn like that. Like if you do have all your combos, right? And like you pull everything off, that's going to be insane. But I would assume that it's like pretty hard to do. Well, it depends on the deck, but you do have to, you know, pull the cards you need to do that. Are there any other games that allow you to OTK? Any other TCGs? I'm trying to think. It's not like I know a whole lot about TCGs, but usually, you know, as it was mentioned in chat, there's like resources that prevent you from doing stuff like that. 他のね、なんかトレーディングカードゲーム TCG でもなんか OTK できるやつってあるかな。そう、ワンターンでね、相手をやっつけちゃう。If there's a bugman kicking out, I can play play the insect deck. So if it's Common Riders, I mean, yeah, sure, I'll take Common Riders. Magic can do OTKs. Oh, okay. Magic the Gathering, gotcha. Another TCG I have not played.
You needed one of either Demise King of Armageddon or Advanced Ritual Art alongside Manju, or you simply have both and you don't need Manju. You also need Doomdozer and Megamorph for the OTK. So here's how it works. Summon Manju to search for either a ritual spell or a ritual monster. Activate Advanced Ritual Art, which lets you use resources from the deck as long as they're vanilla monsters as opposed to the hand. Send 2 4-star vanilla insect-type monsters to the graveyard from your deck. This allows you to summon Demise from the hand. Activate its effect to pay 2,000 life points to destroy everything else and clear the field. Special summon Doomdozer by banishing the 2 insects you just sent to the graveyard. Equip Megamorph on Doomdozer, which will double its attack because your life points are lower than your opponent's since you just paid 2,000 life points. Doomdozer's 5,600 plus Demise's 2,400 is exactly 8,000. What a coincidence. So these 4 decks in total dominated the meta for this time, and neither was particularly overpowered compared to the other 3. However, September came around.
Damn, the bugs are dominating the meta. We gotta stop this. Most games have summoning sickness, which means that monsters can attack the turn they're summoned. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Forgot that was a thing. できるけど相手デッキ次第。なるほど。
And that limited Card Trooper, Megamorph, and Brain Control, while semi-limited Malicious, Disc Commander, and the 3 gadgets. Lastly, Metamorphosis was finally forbidden, thus hampering more fusion-oriented builds.
Good, it's ugly.
This kept all 4 decks in check, but players found that combining the remains of Monarchs and Destiny Heroes proved to be a great deck, which went by the name of Perfect Circle Monarchs. Malicious and Disc Commander were commonly used for Monarch tribute summons, while the newly released Light and Darkness Dragon also capitalized on the tribute fodder to create lockdowns in this deck. The card essentially allowed all card effects to be negated one at a time in exchange for it losing attack every single time. This led to quite a fair amount of negates before the opponent was able to attack over it, which by that point, it really left the opponent hampered. One of the year's last sets, Tactical Evolution, released 2 key cards for another promising deck.
Wait, I think I need to read that card effect again. Cannot be special summoned. While face up on the field, this card is also a dark attribute. Once per chain during either player's turn, when a spell card, trap card, or monster effect is activated, this card loses exactly 500 attack and defense, and that activation is negated. Okay. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target 1 monster in your graveyard if possible. Destroy all cards you control. Also, special summon the monster if any. That's a really interesting card, yeah.
Or the opponent was able to attack over it, which by that point, it really left the opponent hampered. One of the year's last sets, Tactical Evolution, released 2 key cards for another promising deck, Illblood and Zombie Master.
Illblood? What's going on with that guy? Oh. Congratulations, you just did more reading than any Yu-Gi-Oh player ever did. Oh, there was so much reading. We're gonna get even crazier cards, I bet. Like the one that was showed at the very beginning of part 1, I think.
These cards revived the zombie deck, no pun intended, but these 2 alongside Book of Life let zombies capitalize on a previously old card never thought to be good, and boy were we wrong. Card of Safe Return, a card with a non-once per turn draw upon graveyard revival, a criteria that was so easy to reach with these zombie cards that the card was so overpowered. The final deck of the year that saw some use was the return of stall decks, mainly due to the release of
Marshmallow. I can't tell if that's like his mouth on the top and he's upside down, or like, I don't know. Is it a hairline? I don't know. And what an interesting looking guy.
The final deck of the year that saw some use was the return of stall decks, mainly due to the release of Neo-Spacian Grand Mole and Marshmallow, 2 cards that were fantastic for stalling. But usually these 2 cards were just
stalling in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Thrown into other decks as opposed to making their own deck from scratch, but regardless, these 2 redefined the stall mechanic in duels and made them have a comeback as well. It should be worth mentioning that the year's final set, Gladiator's Assault, was an introduction to an archetype that would dominate the meta later. But not quite yet, because the archetype didn't have all its support quite yet, but that's for next video.
Alright.
But by the end of this year, there were several decks that were high in the tiers as some of them tried to make a comeback after the September ban list, but it was very clear that regardless, Perfect Circle Monarch was the most successful in the competitive scene. So are you curious to see how they fell? They
fell? I was just about to say the Monarchs seem pretty solid, you know, they've been around for a bit.
subscribe, and stay tuned for the next
man.
episode.
Okay, can't speak too soon, I guess. Next is gonna be part 4, which covers 2008 to 2009. はい、2008年から2009年。次見ていきます。Grand Mole, my guy. He's your guy? He looks funny. Funny how Metamorphosis getting man-made Neo Bubbleman completely unplayable since you specifically required the card to even be summoned at all. Oh, wait, yeah. He's a useless card now. They might as well just ban him as well. Let him die a noble death. Damn. Alright, next up. 光と闇のドラゴンは漫画版 GX のって読むんだろう、白目がこれなんて読むの使用したキャラの名前かな。ごめんちょっと読み方わかんないが使用したカードやね。当時出したら勝ち。そうなんだ。まあいつもそういうね強いメタカードありますよね。でもずっと強いわけではないんだよね。万丈目って読むのね。万丈目。OK。なるほど。パパパン。Alright, next up. Let me look up 万丈目 from Yu-Gi-Oh! この人ね。OK。今検索してみました。万丈目。すごい名前だよね。His English name is Chaz Princeton. You gotta be shitting me. I was just complimenting how cool his Japanese name was. Manjome. I was like, oh, that's an interesting kanji. In English, his name is Chaz Princeton. ちょっと英語の名前が全然違うんですけど、Manjomeくん。Chaz it up. This man's right here. What do you mean his name is Chaz Princeton? The university names was a bit much. Wait, you're telling me there's more? There's people with more... There's characters with other university names? His catchphrase is Chaz it up. Wait, that's real? Oh my god. Yeah. His Japanese name is Manjome Jun, I guess? Oh. アニメと漫画だと、全くの別物の万丈目な。そうなんだ。英語だとダイレクトすぎて変更されるパターンか。そうかもね。でもめっちゃ変更されてるよ。Anyway, that was funny to look at. Let's start with part 4 now. Chaz it up. That's such a meme. Sounds like.
Welcome to another episode where we discuss the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! We last left off at the end of 2007, where the Perfect Circle Monarchs build was by far the most competitively successful during this time. Their fall has always been a rather interesting one, mainly because it wasn't because of the typical banless hits that most meta decks receive that makes them no longer competitively viable due to key cards becoming forbidden. In fact, this deck only got further boosted with the release of new cards further in 2008, such as Caius the Shadow Monarch, which was essentially a better Zaborg in almost every way.
Oh, that's cool. There's so many different types of monarchs. I like the Caius. The Caius's design.
So what exactly caused their fall? The answer can be said in two simple words that I haven't really mentioned too much in this series.
Okay.
Power creep.
Oh.
And what causes power creep? Oh boy, if you have no idea, you're in for quite a neat...
Wait, what is happening? Well, what could have power crept it, that combo to dying?
Power creep? Oh boy, if you have no idea, you're in for quite a new chapter of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Alright.
Let's check it out.
I'm excited. Stardust Dragon! Let's see it.
Let's skip over to February of 2008, as the first month of the year didn't really provide any format changes since the last video. February 13th, 2008 was quite the day in Yu-Gi-Oh! As that was the day that Phantom Darkness was released in the TCG. So what is Phantom Darkness? Well...
That's crazy, he's got like a face on his chest. Yeah.
Ever heard of Dark Grepher? Samsara Lotus?
Nope.
Armageddonite? Super Polymerization? Allure of Darkness, and Ash Blossom.
Okay, I've seen Ash Blossom, yes.
Well, you can ignore Ash Blossom for now.
No!
But the first 5 all made their debut in this set.
Okay.
While Sincera Lotus and Super Poly wouldn't be useful until years later in Yu-Gi-Oh!, the others on this list definitely significantly buffed the dark attribute tremendously. You see, on top of these useful dark support cards, the set also introduced dark counterparts to previous popular boss monsters such as Dark Horus, the Dark Creator, and Dark Nephthys. All were pretty good in some ways, but the one that blew away all the others was Dark Arm Dragon. Originally meant to be balanced out by the rather difficult summoning condition, Dark Arm Dragon was way ahead of its time when players found out ways to manipulate the number of dark monsters in the graveyard rather easily.
Let me read the card effect. Cannot be normal summon set. Must be special summon from your hand by having exactly 3 dark monsters in your graveyard. You can banish 1 dark monster from your graveyard, then target 1 card on the field and destroy that target. Okay.
And players found out ways to manipulate the number of dark monsters in the graveyard rather easily. Essentially, the card requires exactly 3 dark monsters in the graveyard, not less, not more. 3.
Exactly.
However, when it hits the field, it essentially provides the player the opportunity to destroy any 3 cards on the field, since each time you banish a dark monster, you can destroy any 1 card on the field. But we haven't even gotten to the best part yet. This effect was not once per turn.
Wait, what? Oh boy. アーマードドラゴンはアニメ満場名のエースモンスター。そうなんだ。めっちゃ強そう。Dark Arm was OP at the time and fetched around $60 USD at launch. Damn.
However, remember that the meta during this time...
It is Dad. D-A-D, Dad. Oh my god, Dad. Dad's so strong.
Not once per turn. However, remember that the meta during this time revolved around OTKs, and despite the power of Dark Arm Dragon, it alone was not able to OTK. And so because of this, players utilized Dark Arm Dragon alongside a combination of Destiny Hero Dark monsters to create the infamous Return Dad deck. Dad meaning Dark
Return Dad deck. I love that.
Arm Dragon, of course, because he was everyone's daddy.
Yes.
Here's the basic strategy. Draw a bunch of cards by using Allure of Darkness, Destiny Hero Disc Commander, and...
My dad could be your dad. I'm summoning Dad.
strategy.
That's great.
Draw a bunch of cards by using Allure of Darkness, Destiny Hero
Dad
Disc
returns with the
Commander,
milk.
and Destiny Draw, while also setting up the graveyard with dark monsters using Armageddonite, Dark Grapher, or Foolish Burial. With all this draw power, you're bound to get your Dark Arm Dragon considering it wasn't limited during this time. After that, summon Dark Arm Dragon and start controlling the field with its effect while banishing a bunch of dark monsters. Maintaining field control would typically force your opponent to play more defensively, which would give you just a few more turns to draw the last card you needed if you hadn't drawn it already. Return from a different dimension.
Okay.
This would allow you to special summon all those monsters you banished with Dark Arm Dragon's effect, as well as Allure of Darkness, and then attack with everyone, and that's the OTK.
Oh, okay. I activate my trap card. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
It's that simple. It was actually pretty easy to pull it off. This was essentially the deck that would dominate the format because other decks such as Perfect Circle Monarchs and even Six Samurai were pretty good, but not quite enough. Yes, you heard me right.
First time I see the Six Samurai card.
Six Samurai was starting to get some momentum during this time, but to be honest, this isn't the infamous Six Samurai deck that everyone knows about that would eventually get Gateway of the Six Forbidden.
There's another one?
That's for later.
Okay.
I'll also mention that for Perfect Circle Monarchs, yes, Ryza got limited and Light and Darkness Dragon got semi-limited, but everything else was pretty much left untouched. This is ultimately the reason why many people believe that it wasn't really the banless hits that guided this deck to their doom, but it was more so the introduction of other cards that simply power creep the deck strategy.
I see.
Going back to Return Dad, the deck was
I mean, I would want to play Dad too. If I had money for the card, because I guess it was expensive, but Six Samurai kept getting buffs for 10 years. Wow. That would make it powerful, yeah.
best from February up until mid-May, when another booster set was released.
Oh.
And if you all thought Phantom Darkness was insane, wait till you hear about this next one. So the very iconic Light of Destruction saw the release of numerous cards that would completely change the meta for years to come. Let me start by asking you something. What do each of the following have in common? Amazoness, Venom, Dark Scorpion, and Alien.
What do they have in common? I don't know. I don't know. They're all effect cards. I don't know.
If you guessed that they're all archetypes, well, yes, you'd be correct. They are.
They are? Okay.
But there's a second answer to it, too. If you guessed they're all amazing meta-relevant archetypes, then you'd be so right. Fully wrong. As cool as some of these are, they all suck ass.
Oh,
That's just the
rip.
truth. Before I make the next point, I will say that 2008 definitely wasn't the introduction of, quote, good archetypes. There were some pretty good ones already, such as Dark World and Six Samurai, and certain components of other archetypes such as Destiny Heroes were also competitive. But Light of Destruction saw the release of the TCG's first two fully competitive archetypes, Gladiator Beasts and Lightsworns.
Oh.
We'll start
That's a cute dog. かわいいじゃん. Yeah. Dark versus light.
with Gladiator Beasts. Gladiator Beasts were introduced to the TCG in November 2007, and while not awful, they also weren't that great. They had a unique concept that involved cards going back into the deck and essentially tagging out with other cards to trigger their good effects. But even with this, there wasn't a fantastic card that was able to really mess the opponent up single-handedly. Light of Destruction changed all this by introducing a key card that would go on to make the Gladiator Beast archetype extremely powerful, Gladiator Beast Gazaris. This monster allowed the player to target up to any two cards on the field, meaning either one or two, either your opponent's side or your side, either monsters or back row, either face up or face down, either attack position or defense position, any two cards.
Damn, okay.
Let me just emphasize that. While it may not seem overly impressive in the modern day, keep in mind that this flexibility for field destruction was incredibly rare during this time.
Yeah, no, that does sound like... Usually it would be more specific, right? Yeah. Any two cards, wow.
And this is also why Dark Armed Dragon was so amazing as well.
Dad!
They both have the same card flexibility for destruction, and made them both really, really good.
アニメ、他にしてテーマカードたちの登場。Lightsworn is such a fun deck to pilot. I'm excited to learn about Lightsworn. Lightsworn was the first Gamba deck, yeah.
Next up is Lightsworns. Lightsworns are essentially a series of light monsters, as their archetype name suggests, who focus primarily on self-milling. The archetype was great during this time for two primary reasons. For one, the idea of self-milling is directly related to deck thinning.
Okay, yeah, that is... there's the Gamba.
Every Yu-Gi-Oh player knows that a deck with 40 cards is inherently better than a deck with 50, for example.
Okay.
And also, the more draw and search cards a player uses, the better the odds of drawing what they need in future turns because their deck has been thinned out.
Gamba!
Lightsworns capitalized on this concept and could easily filter out cards turn by turn while also filling up the graveyard with good monsters that could utilize it. Now, this graveyard thing will be more prominent in later iterations of Lightsworn decks, but just keep this in the back of your mind for now. The second reason why they were great had to do with one specific card in their
Man, the graveyard's so important.
archetype, Judgment Dragon. When you look at it, it's hard to believe that a card of this caliber came out in 2008. But then again, you can make the same argument for Dark Armed Dragon and Gazaris. Judgment Dragon was a monster with 3,000 attack, and a very simple summoning condition of having only 4 different named Lightsworns in the graveyard.
Isn't 3,000 attack really high?
And very importantly, it does not banish them as a cost for special summoning it. So that's only its summoning effect, but it gets better. By paying only 1,000 life points, you could destroy all other cards on the field.
Okay.
Yes, that includes both monsters and back row, while also keeping this massive 3,000 beater on the field. And get this, it's not once per turn. This specifically is of huge significance because any cards that have floating effects through field destruction would essentially
be the dandelion's kind of cute.
useless against Judgment Dragon, as the player could just activate its effect again to destroy all the newly special summoned cards.
3,000 is as strong as Blue Eyes? Really? Damn.
The player could just activate its effect again to destroy all the newly special summoned cards.
3000ってめっちゃアタック高いよね。
Many boss monsters released nowadays simply have the hard once per turn effect on the card description. Judgment Dragon bypassed this, and to be honest, it seemed accidental and really good for Lightsworns. So how did the competitive scene look at this point? Well, not surprisingly, these three decks were the top three meta decks of this period, with
Yeah.
Gladiator Beast and Return Dad sharing the top of the meta, with Light Swords coming up right behind him as a formidable contender. However, an emergency ban list was released in May 2000.
Not the emergency ban list. No, they can't take Dad away from me. No, Dad. Dandelion is a stupidly strong card that's still banned. Wait, really? Wait, let me go back to Dandelion. If this card is sent to the graveyard, special summon 2 fluff tokens, plant type /win /level 1 attack or 0 defense 0 in defense position. These tokens cannot be attributed for attribute summon during the turn they're special summoned. You could summon 2? Okay. Fluff tokens. Alright. Well, let's see what the emergency ban list is.
8, which banned Dimension Fusion, limited Return from a Different Dimension, and semi-limited Allure of Darkness. It's easy to guess which of these three decks this ban list targeted.
Yep.
With this, the results were easy to guess. Between May and August, Gladiator Beast won the next 6 Shonen Jump championships, with Light Swords and a nerf Return Dad usually making it to the top percentages, but not quite enough to deal with the unnerfed Gazaris. This all began to change in early fall, however, with the release of the brand new summoning mechanic, Synchro Summoning.
Synchro summon. That rings a bell.
Although originally introduced in August to the 5D starter deck, Synchro Summoning wouldn't truly change the format until early September with the release of the Duelist Genesis.
Okay.
Essentially, Synchro Summoning introduced both Synchro monsters as well as tuners, both of which were very revolutionary. But in addition to this, Synchro Summoning introduced the first of many Master Rules in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Master Rules are basically major rule changes to the entire game that completely alter once known rules.
Yep.
The first Master Rule, also known as the creative name Master Rule 1, made some significant changes to the rules, being that the Fusion deck would officially be changed to the Extra deck. Also, the main deck must have anywhere from 40 to 60 cards, while the Extra deck and Side deck can have anywhere from 0 to 15 cards each. Previously, there was no limit on the main deck, and this change was mostly made to stop those players that would enter with a 3,000 plus card deck.
Wait, there was no limit? I didn't know there was no limit. Wait, what? どうすか？デッキのカードの数のリミットってなかったの今まで。What? The legends? They look like they're part of like some sort of mafia bringing in a weapon. Well, yeah, there are limits now, but I'm surprised that. Sorry, this whole time I was assuming that there was a limit. I'm surprised that there wasn't one. Oh, okay. Wow, cool.
And this change was mostly made to stop those players that would enter with a 3,000 plus card deck. Yes, that's a whole deck that was actually used to enter in a tournament back in the day.
3000カード入ってるデッキに If you play with those guys, you're stuck there forever. I'm surprised they didn't limit this sooner. What they allowed this to happen? The point was to prove how insane no limits can go. Yeah. Wow. Oh. これはすごいね。海馬のトランスケースの EX でそのままデュエルができたから。
Can you imagine activating like Rhoda to search for a specific card in this deck?
Yeah.
And then proceeding to shuffle your 3,000 cards?
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
That's messed up.
Anyway, the Extra deck used to not have a limit cap, but now it did because so many generic synchros would mean literally every player could just put 3 of every synchro in existence in their Extra deck if this wasn't implemented. So to be honest, this was actually a really great developmental decision.
That's needed.
And the side deck used to require exactly 15 cards in it. If you didn't have 15, you couldn't play a side deck. But this was removed because... I don't know actually.
What?
Probably just because they realized that this rule was stupid and made no sense. And
It just got removed, yeah. That deck had 1 of every card in the game at the time, bro. Bro.
I don't know actually. Probably just because they realized that this rule was stupid and made no sense, and so they just removed it. Not that anyone would ever run less than 15 cards in their side deck, but at least the option was there now. Let's go back to the Duelist Genesis.
I just can't believe that you could have 1 of each card in the game, in a deck, and play it at the time. but like also like why would you be that guy? But I don't know, for the memes, I guess.
So what notable synchros came out in this set? Well, the two big ones were Stardust Dragon and Goyo Guardian, but the 5D starter deck was also notable for having Colossal Fighter. Stardust Dragon was a fantastic Destruction Negate card, while Goyo Guardian was an amazing generic 6 due to its high attack and ability to special summon monsters to your side of the field from your opponent's graveyard. I know the card on the screen says Earth required, but that artwork is post-errata. It was a generic synchro beforehand, trust me on this. Colossal Fighter, by the way, had a really great revival effect where you could just keep reviving itself to keep coming back into the field. All three of these synchros were pretty much thrown on every single deck because they were just great generic synchros. But among other things, the Duelist Genesis also introduced Krebons, Mind Master, and Emergency Teleport, three amazing support cards for the newly released Psychic type.
I'm reading it. When this card is targeted for an attack, you can pay 800 life points, negate the attack. Okay. You can pay 800 life points and tribute one psychic type monster except Mind Master to special summon one level 4 or lower psychic type monster from your deck and face up attack position. Alright. Right, want to special summon one level 3 or lower psychic type monster from your hand or deck, but banish it during the end phase of this turn.
And also, it did release Charge of the Light Brigade for Light Swords,
that's a cool card.
Fantastic searcher. It's important to keep all of this in mind while 2008 comes to a close, as by the end of this year, the infamous Teledad deck rose to prominence. The Teledad deck utilized Dark Arm Dragon, who was now semi-limited by the way, in combination with Krebons and Emergency Teleport to bust out quick synchro plays with Krebons while also sending these dark monsters to the graveyard to capitalize on Dark Arm Dragon. Another variation of this deck was titled Zombie Synchro, which utilized these cards but also capitalized on the newly released Plague Spreader Zombie from Crossroads of Chaos, as well as the relatively new Goblin Zombie and Mizuki for general zombie support. And it also helped that many zombies were Dark Attribute and could also capitalize on Card of Safe Return, which still wasn't limited at this time. By the end of the year, the dominating force slowly shifted away from Gladiator Beast and onto Teledad and its variant Zombie Synchro, as the two most useful tuners during this time were in—
I like how they're calling it Teledad. 融合と、専用の魔法カードや儀式カードも、不要で、モンスターのレベルを合わせて専用のチューナーモンスターが入れば、召喚できる強いシンクロカードたち。面白いね、いろいろあって。
Indeed Krebons and Plague Spreader Zombie. And
I do like the mechanic of like the undead zombie guys. How like you'd like bring them back from the graveyard and stuff. It's very, it's very on point with what they are. そう、恐ろしく強いアンデッドカードたち。グレーブヤードからね、なんか召喚とかしてやるの面白い。
Most useful tuners during this time were indeed Krebons and Plague Spreader Zombie. And right up behind them were a couple others such as Dark Resonator. This dominance continued until around March of 2009 with a new ban list which limited Dark Arm Dragon, Emergency Teleport, Gladiator Beast Bestiari, which was used to make Azaras, Goyo Guardian, Plague Spreader Zombie, Mizuki, and Card of Safe Return. With this, it's easy to see that Konami wanted synchros to sell more and for them to be the hottest thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah, they got their wish. It became clear that synchro summoning was not only the hottest new mechanic, but also one of the most efficient after this ban list. From April 2009 onwards, there were three main decks that were the powerhouses. The first was Synchro Cat, a deck that focused on infusing the newly released Dark Strike Fighter.
Oh my god, the little cute cat summons the insane looking Dark Strike Fighter. It says you can send this card to the graveyard, special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast type monsters from your deck. Okay. But they have their effects negated. Also, they are destroyed during the end phase. Oh, you can only use this effect to rescue cat once per turn. Yeah. I like how he's just a cat. 普通の可愛い猫ちゃん。Evil cat? What? No. He's a rescue cat. He couldn't be evil. The Dark Strike Fighter has a very cool design. Yeah. Dark Strike Fighter のデザイン好き。
Synchro Cat, a deck that focused on abusing the newly released Dark Strike Fighter. The OTK revolved around only needing one specific monster,
OTK?
Summoner Monk, in the hand, as well as any 2 spell cards in the hand.
Okay.
Summoning one Summoner Monk and using its effect to discard a spell card would bring out another Summoner Monk from the deck.
Oh.
This new Summoner Monk would pitch another spell card from the hand to bring out Rescue Cat, which would then tribute itself for 2 X-Saber Airbellums, another great tuner monster. Each Airbellum would combine with the Summoner Monk to make a Dark Strike Fighter. Thus you could make 2 of them.
You could combine them to make a Dark Strike Fighter? What?
Attack with both for 5200 damage, and then tribute them both in main base 2 for 2800 damage using their effect. And it was literally that simple.
Oh my god.
As a heads up, the effects of Rescue Cat and Dark Strike Fight that you see on screen are their errata versions, with many more limitations now than before.
I see.
Their pre-errata versions though were completely busted. The second
PTSD. There's a Rescue Rabbit too? Oh, wow. Yeah, they do sound like menaces if you're playing against them.
Prominent deck was Blackwings. Blackwings were a newly released archetype that was super consistent due to their spamming ability, powerful archetype synchros, and the power of Black Whirlwind, which could search for Blackwings each time a Blackwing was normal summoned. Almost every single Blackwing could special summon itself if another was on the field, and this led to super easy synchros and potential OTKs.
Oh wow.
The third deck was Twilight Lightsworns, which is also the specific deck that I'm easily most well known for in all my Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds Let's Plays on my channel.
Okay.
Seriously.
The Nintendo DS games. Rescue Rabbit is my nemesis. There's a Rescue Ferret and Hamster as well. シンクロカード強いね. Imagine getting blown away by a cat. GG's, I guess.
If you want to see this deck in action, watch those series of mine because it's truly a beauty of a deck.
I do want to see
sum
it.
Up, the deck would essentially capitalize on using Light Sworns for the light counterpart, and cards like Plague Spreader Zombie, Necrogardna, and Krebons for the dark counterparts, while also using the recently unbanned Chaos Sorcerer as one of its boss monsters alongside Judgment Dragon. For the next few months, the combination of these 3 decks would be the majority of the tournament winners, but September shut most of their tactics down. The September ban list placed Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind and Rescue Cat on the limited list, while Dark Strike Fighter and Card of Safe Return both got forbidden.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that kills that meta, I guess.
Mizuki did come back to semi-limited, however, and this actually helped the zombie synchro deck enough to occasionally see some top spots in the last few months. But overall, Twilight Lightsworns were dominating for the rest of the year because the hits on them was minimal compared to the others, and it was also pretty funny that regular Lightsworns and regular Twilight synchro decks were also rising in use, and all these variations of these decks were at the top of the meta. I know it's kind of a mess here with the meta, but just know that the meta at the end of 2009 was mostly light and dark monsters, with mostly a combination of Lightsworns, Psychics, Blackwings, and zombies that use great tuners to also make great synchros.
Yeah, the zombies sound fun. Yeah, undead도 楽しそう. Pregnant Lord, thank you so much for the 100 bits. The funny thing is that Black Wings was played by the Joey of the anime series at the time. Oh yeah, Joey! So imagine, I know Joey from watching some, I guess, clips, I guess. So imagine if you were playing a Mario game, but Luigi was the meta pick. Wait, Luigi's my husband. I'd be happy. Yeah, give me Luigi. Yeah, that is funny though. That's funny just because, you know, it's like, oh, not the main character, right? Doesn't Joey get like shit on all the time in the anime too? Which makes it even funnier. Yeah. Oh, okay. The Joey of the era is named Crow. Gotcha. Karasu, Crow. Which makes sense because he plays the Black Wings. Of course his name is that. Black Luigi. Dark Luigi. Yeah. Alright. My favorite minister type right now is fish. Cool.
And that's where 2009 basically ends. The increased popularity of synchros only meant that 2010 would surely introduce more broken ones. Stay tuned for the next episode as we cover the next 2 years of Yu-Gi-Oh's history.
How much more higher can we get? Oh, you meant monster. Gotcha. Yeah, everyone's mean to Joey, but he also has the hypest moments. I didn't know that. Oh my god, let's go. Welcome in. I do want to watch at least one more, but I do have to go feed my cats real quick, so I'll be right back. もう一つは見たいんですけど、ちょっと今猫のご飯の時間なのでちょっとまた短い休憩取ります。Yeah, sorry for taking another break. It'll be real quick. I will be right back. Please listen to some violin in the meantime. Okay, I'll be right back. はい、ちょっと待っててね。ほい。And let me skip to like a different song since you guys already heard this earlier. さっきも聞いた曲だからね。ちょっとスキップします。 Hi, tadaimo. Thank you for waiting. I'm back. Once again, if you want to hear more violin, I'll be playing violin live on stream tomorrow. The start time will be a little bit earlier than today, but yeah, we do have a stream scheduled for tomorrow. I will put up the waiting room after this stream ends. はい、明日ね、バイオリン配信やるので、よかったら見に来てください。待機場所はこちらの配信が終わってから作っていきます。Alright, let's watch one more. もう一つ見ましょう。Alright, part 5. This is covering 2010 to 2011. 2010年から11年の遊戯を見ていきましょう。Alright, let's watch.
Welcome to another episode of the History of Yu-Gi-Oh! And before I get like the 50th comment about this, yes, everyone, I'm aware that Simo made his own The History of Yu-Gi-Oh! Series months after I started mine. And while that series is
I didn't know there was another series. I mean, I'm not surprised though, yeah.
totally different than mine, I had many comments from many of you saying that the thumbnails look strikingly similar, with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Images on the right side and the History of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Addressing the allegations!
title on the left side. Here's the thing. Although there are similarities, I highly doubt it was intentional, or that he even knows about this series and that I exist, okay?
It doesn't even look similar to me. It looks like, a YouTube thumbnail anyways.
Hey, the series is not that popular, and the episode 1 has like maybe 5,000 views in total, so I really doubt that a much more popular YouTuber would even know about this channel. Just wanted to clear that up because I was getting a lot of comments about that, like, oh my gosh, look at that, like, relax everyone, relax, it's fine, it's cool. So anyway,
oh, he's nice for that, yeah.
Anyway, we last left off during a period where the threat of synchro dominance was growing slowly but surely, due to great archetypes and tuners, of course. Also, the next 2 years would continue to be ruled by synchros. The methods and strategies used to achieve heavy synchro summoning would constantly change. This period in Yu-Gi-Oh's history is when the nature of the game began to change, in that the meta would overwhelmingly be ruled by archetypes. It's sad to say, but from this point on, it's incredibly rare that a non-archetype deck would perform very well competitively.
Sorry guys, I need you guys to explain to me what an archetype is again. アーケタイプ日本語ではなんだろうアーケタイプかな同じくこれって何でしたっけ Also, we've got another frog. Substitute. I like the name. またカエルが出てきたよ貫禄のカエル It's like half angel, half devil. An archetype is like a group of cards that all have a part of their name in common that work around that name. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Group of cards that are related. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Like the Malphys. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Archetype is a group of cards that share a theme and synergies well together. Okay. 同じテーマのカードのことね。はい。わかりました。Okay. Thanks for explaining.
Incredibly rare that a non-archetype deck would perform very well competitively. Old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Was truly behind us now.
Old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like anything goes. I mean, hell, if you could have a 3,000 card deck, at that point.
These next few years are what set the foundation for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Through an increase in archetypes, hand traps, negates, and the game speeding up tremendously.
There's a rescue rabbit! Oh my god, it's cute. ウサギも可愛いね。
Sit back and watch history unfold.
Alright, let's go. I've actually been enjoying this quite a bit. 結構面白い。いろいろあって。
The start of 2010 simply continued from last year's final format, so it's easy to tell which decks were still dominating early this year. There were a few sets and products that released a couple new key cards, however. For example, Bryonic Dragon of the Ice Barrier was released through the Dual Terminal. The iconic factor of
Was that an arcade cabinet?
Bryonic Dragon of the Ice Barrier was released through the Dual Terminal.
Dual Terminal. Wait, that's cool. Oh, so you could duel in the arcade. ゲーセンのキャビネットもあったのね。面白い。
The iconic factor of this card has to do with how uniquely powerful its effect was in combination with it being a generic 6, which means that it would commonly compete with Goyo Guardian for that spot. Bryonic has what you call a mass non-destruction removal effect. This type of removal was so unheard of that the card had a huge legacy behind it. You see, mass removal at this point was almost exclusively related to destruction, with cards like Dark Hole and Raigeki, and even the 3 big boss monsters mentioned in the last video, Gizaru's Dark Arm Dragon and Judgment Dragon, were all mass destruction effects.
Is this where like the water element cards get a bit more stronger? そう、水属性のカードね、ここで強化されるのかな
Bryonic was very distinct in that it had mass bouncing removal, which wasn't the first card ever to do this.
Penguin!
But older cards that had this effect were just too plain slow or situational to have any competitive viability. Bryonic eventually received an errata due to other reasons having to do with abusing self-bouncing your own cards, which is why it received a hard once per turn and limited the bouncing to only the opponent's card. But even if this card was initially released with this errata in 2010, it would have still been very good at the time because it could still mass bounce opponents' cards. The other significant early 2010 release was from the Machina Mayhem structure deck. Prior to this, structure decks typically had the occasional good card here and there to help players with the budget a little bit, but the release of fantastic boss monsters in structure decks was quite unheard of. For example, if you wanted a Dark Arm Dragon, you only had 2 choices. Either buy a bunch of Phantom Darkness packs and hope you get lucky, or buy it as a single, which wasn't going to cost you only a couple bucks. There's no way.
Oh god, how much is it?
Either option is not good for your budget unless you're one of those naturally gifted people that can pull exactly what you need from the first pack all the time. Come on, we all know someone who has that power somehow. It's ridiculous. But anyway,
I can do that if I don't actually like if my desire sensor is low. I actually am really good at that. I could like buy like 2 packs of Pokemon if I don't care, and I will pull like the chaser cards of that set. But if I do want something, I'll never pull it. I've got to have like, unaware, like I've got to be unaware of what I'm buying, If I'm aware of what I'm buying, it's already over. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, Mara just asked, will this influence me to play Master Duel? Yeah, I did play it once. It was sometime last year when Nova taught me how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So that was my first time I played it, and so far I haven't played it since. I really should get back into it. I am interested in seeing how like more of these cards, work and stuff. So I should check it out more, yeah. So just so that, I don't forget completely how to play the game or how it works.
Machina Mayhem offered the amazing boss monster, Machina Fortress, as well as 39 other cards for the very low price of only about $10 US.
Oh yeah, and also that VOD of me playing Master Duel is on Nova's channel. Yeah, I didn't stream it, so if you guys want to check it out, you can go check it out on Nova's channel. Oh, Teledad, yeah. The Dad deck was like over 2,000 at release. Oh my god, that's way too much money, yeah.
This made it one of Yu-Gi-Oh's first truly competitive budget decks, as it wasn't that difficult to get all the pieces you needed to construct this deck. Fortress...
Budget decks are important. こちらはね、安い方のね、結構普通にいいデッキなのね。安いデッキも大事。
Had a very useful summoning condition where you could discard machine monsters to bring it from the hand or graveyard, and it also had great effects when destroyed by battle or targeted by a monster effect. Overall, very flexible card with good overall stats in combination of being affordable made it a great card and deck in general. The March 2010 ban list had some major hits. Chaos Sorcerer, Charge of the Light Brigade, Lumina, Burial from a Different Dimension, Mizuki, Foolish Burial, and Allure of Darkness were all now limited, while Black Whirlwind received a semi-limit. All these cards weaken Lightsworns, Twilights, Zombies, and Blackwings in different ways, and this is the ban list that brought the game to what is referred to as Edison format.
Edison format? What? Also, Archer, did you just link the VOD for my stream with Nova? Thank you so much. I'm going to assume that's what it is. Thank you, Archer, for linking it. Yeah, if you guys want to check out the VOD maybe after the stream, feel free to, click on that link and bookmark it for later. そう今ね、モデさんがね、コメント欄で送ったリンクはね、私がノバちゃんにね、ノバちゃんのチャンネルの方で、遊戯王を教わった時の、アーカイブです。はい。だから配信の後よかったら見てください。
named after the Shonen Jump Championship Edison, which is also the last Shonen Jump
could pin it,
Championship
actually.
ever. Edison format had
Sorry,
a wide...
I think I just like missed that. I'm gonna have to rewind real quick. Okay, I'm gonna pin the link real quick. はい、ちょっと固定しておきます。はい。Penguin Lords, thank you so much for the 100 bits. The dual terminal was also the second instance. Oh yeah, the arcade cabinet, right? The dual terminal was also the second instance of multiple cards coming together to tell a bigger story, with the archetypes of dual terminal being tribes. Ooh, that interacted together. That's cool. The first instance is the cards that feature either Gaga Gigo or Warrior Dai Greffer. Yeah, that's really cool that they also had lore in the dual terminal. It's kind of sad though, because arcade games are usually short-lived, and I don't know if like some variation of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arcade still exists, but I'm gonna assume no, unless you guys tell me there's one that exists out there, which would be cool if there is.
To what is referred to as Edison format, named after the Shonen Jump Championship Edison,
Gotcha.
which is also the last Shonen Jump Championship ever.
Oh.
Edison format had a wide variety
Wow, Edison. He got a whole format named after him. That's pretty cool.
decks used. In addition to the now nerfed Light Swords, Twilight, Synchro Cat, and Black Wings, Machina gadgets were very popular in this format, and Gladiator Beasts made a return thanks to Elemental Hero Prisma, which made fusion summoning their bosses easier. The
elemental heroes are so cool. ヒーローカードね、やっぱりかっこいいな。遊戯王カードストーリーで、すられるガガギゴ。面白い名前だね。Master Duel also has a solo mode that tells some story lore too for some of the archetypes. Oh, cool. I should play. Maybe I should just play through Master Duel solo mode. That might be fun. Yeah. They bring old dual terminal machines to YCS events sometimes, but they haven't made a new one in about 15 years. That makes sense. Yeah.
New decks in this format, however, were Quick Draw Dandy Warrior and Flame Bell Synchro. Quick Draw Dandy Warrior utilized Quick Draw Synchron, which was a very flexible and versatile card for making synchros that required synchrons as material, such as Drill Warrior. While Flame Bell Synchro relied on Flame Bell Fire Dog to special summon additional monsters, and Flame Bell Magician was used as her main synchro. Yes, Flame Bell Magician's effect is complete trash, absolute garbage, but it still saw some use during this time. And it just shows you how rare level 4 tuners were during this time. But the ability to synchro summon cards like Stardust Dragon using only 2 materials was a huge advantage the deck had, as almost every other deck needed at least 3. The release of the Shining Darkness in May 2010 saw the end of Edison format due to some releases for other archetypes, being X-Sabers and Infernities. Both archetypes had already been out for a while, but it wasn't until the set where they got the support they needed. Infernities focus on effects to reduce your hand to nothing while utilizing powerful effects on cards whose only real condition was to have no cards in the hand.
Wait, when your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or monster effect while you control face-up attack position Infernity monster. Oh, while you control a face-up attack position Infernity monster and have no cards in your hand, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. Oh, cool.
I know it may seem confusing on how one can win a duel with no cards in the hand, but keep in mind that these effects were truly powerful to the point where it offset the whole having no cards thing. X-Sabers, on the other hand...
The new meta, having no cards in your hand. Imagine having cards. I don't need no cards. I could win without cards.
has some newly released X-Sabers known as Double X-Sabers. Specifically, cards like Double X-Saber Faltro were super efficient in storming the field, and then creating a bunch of high-powered synchros due to its special summoning effects. Also, Double X-Saber Golems was a fantastic hand destruction card because it was not limited to once per turn, and made it extremely challenging for your opponent to recover from.
Double X-Saber is a cool name.
May 2010 was also a major milestone in Yu-Gi-Oh's history because it marked the beginning of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series, also known as YCS.
There it is!
The
YCS!
previous Shonen Jump Championships, SJC, were now officially retired,
なるほど。
and YCS took their place. The first YCS winner ever used a Machina gadget deck, but it was
trying not to make a joke about how that room must smell.
Also cluttered with X-Sabers, Infernities, and many more as well. One more thing about Shining Darkness is that it also released the last few Frog support cards to make a reliable Frog Monarch deck, which used cards like Swap Frog, Substitute, and Ronin Toden in combination with Ryza, Caius,
I've seen Ronin Toden.
and Light and Darkness Dragon. The deck was pretty good, but the more infamous Frog deck was obviously Beelze Frog Beatdown.
Another
Just
frog.
kidding. It was actually Frog FTK.
There's the frog. Oh god, the smell of sweat during those events. Dude, don't even get me started. This is why you should invest in Zephyr Arcade's new scent line. Emuri perfume coming out soon. We might get some soaps as well.
Frog FTK is one of Yu-Gi-Oh's most infamous decks in history because it was so simple and cheap, but it won the 2010 World Championship. Yes, it did. The breakdown is very basic. All you need is Substitute, Ronin Toden, and Mass Driver. Substitute could literally dump every single frog monster in your deck to the graveyard in one single turn.
Wow.
Ronin Toden could then special summon itself in the graveyard by banishing one of those frogs.
Okay.
And Mass Driver would tribute the Ronin Toden. Neither of these three cards had once per turn clauses on them. And because of that, FTKs were very easily possible, especially when used in combination with great support cards like 1-for-1.
Crazy. Yeah, they always don't put once per turn things on them, and then like everyone's like, all right, time to spam.
The next set, Duelist Revolution, was also quite noteworthy because of two key cards it released, Solemn Warning and Effect Veiler. This time period was the beginning of another era in Yu-Gi-Oh! In regards to negates, as Fiendish Chain was fairly new and now these two came out. Solemn Warning was great at countering the popular Synchros or special summon spammers, while the other two blocked off powerful boss monster effects.
I like the
In addition, Gore's the Emissary.
I like the art in Solemn Warning. イラストいいね、このカードたちの。Oh my gosh, Arisa! Thank you for the raid on Twitch. Thank you. Welcome in. Yeah, girls. We were looking at girls on the cards. Thank you so much, everyone. Be sure to go follow Arisa over on Twitch. She is also on YouTube as well. She's also part of Glitch Stars with me. She's part of Glitch Stars Outbreak. Arigato. I hope you had a good stream. Be sure to get some rest now. Thank you so much for bringing everyone in. If you guys don't know who I am Emuri, the otaku violinist from Glitch Stars Streamers. はい、Glitch Stars 所属オタクバイオリニストのHiiragi Emuri dayon. よろしくお願いします。Today I am learning about the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! I am a Yu-Gi-Oh! newbie. I've only had Nova teach me once. So, yeah, right now we're learning about what happened in the card game from 2010 to 2011 on part 5 of Delta Shiny Zeta's series. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for coming in. And also, if you guys don't know, I am dual streaming to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And also the link that I have pinned in chat right now is the VOD of the stream I had on Nova's channel where she taught me Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you guys are interested in checking that afterwards, feel free to bookmark it. Thank you so much! Thanks Archer for sending the link as well. Everyone be sure to go sub to Arisa. Yes. Thank you!
While the other two block off powerful boss monster effects. In addition, Gore's the Emissary of Darkness and Tragodia were newly released, and these two cards alongside Effect Veiler and last year's Honest paved the way for a completely new terminology created by the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, hand traps. The way for a completely new terminology created by the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, hand traps. Obviously, we have a lot more hand traps in the modern day, but these here are a great example of just how far we've come from the game's first one.
Tragodia has so much text on his freaking effect. 声無理いらっしゃい懐かしいそう遊戯王のね歴史についての動画見てます今ね2010年から2011年の動画ですwelcome Mr. Logs requires mandatory Yu-Gi-Oh! Training for Glitch Stars talents you know we'll just say yes because it's funnier that way
modern day, but these here are a great example of just how far we've come from the game's first one, Kuribo.
Wait, I know Kuribo 知ってるYeah.
2010 ban list targeted Frog FTK, obviously.
Wait, what?
Kuribo.
What effect did he have again? During damage cancellation, if your opponent's monster attacks, quick effect, you can discard this card. You take no battle damage from the battle. What? Wait, that sounds broken.
The September 2010 ban list targeted Frog FTK, obviously, by forbidding Substitute and Mass Driver, but it also limited Infernity Launcher and Black Whirlwind, while also forbidding Rescue Cat. This, in combination with Starstrike Blast's release, created an opportunity for an early version of a deck that would eventually dominate for months, Plant Synchro.
Oh, plant waifus now. Oh, Karibo always saved Yuki's ass. Oh, it sounds broken, but not really. I see. Oh.
The release of two
pretty
fantastic
card.
plant tuners, Glow-a-Bulb and Spore, would set the foundation for the deck,
Spore's so
as
cute.
well as previously thought to be average cards such as Lone Fire Blossom and Dandelion, which gave them so much
Oh my
flexibility.
god, Dandelion's back.
There weren't any major format changes until February, however, with the release of Storm of Ragnarok. Remember those 6 samurais I briefly mentioned in the last video? Well, they're back, but better than ever because of legendary 6 samurai Shien, and better monsters that could special summon themselves easier, which could easily abuse a card that honestly wasn't that great before this.
Okay.
Gateway of the 6.
Yeah, okay, so we're finally getting back into the samurais.
This was a great example of a card that went from mediocre to downright busted overnight. And you would commonly see cards.
Wait, why though? Let me see. Each time a 6 samurai monsters is normal special summon, place 2 Bushido counters on this card. You can remove Bushido counters from your field to activate these effects. 2 counters. Target 1 6 samurai or Shien effect monster. That target gains 500 attack until the end of this turn. Okay. 4 counters. Add 1 6 samurai monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. What? 6 counters. Target 1 Shien effect monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. Okay. I can see why you can do a lot with this card. And it's not once per turn and creates infinite loops. Damn. Infinite Gateway of the 6. Okay. That sounds like it could be fun.
That went from mediocre to downright busted overnight.
Hanzai Shudan.
And you would commonly see cards like Naturia Beast and Barkion in this deck to couple well with Shien. You know those annoying decks nowadays that have like 5 million negates turn 1? Well, this kind of stuff happened back then too because all these cards basically prevented the opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, so the 6 Sims can spam summons, yep.
However, the March 2011 ban list limited Gateway of the 6 and also Dandelion for Plant Synchros, and the coming months saw the rise of Gemini Hero.
Oh, Hero!
The release of Elemental Hero The Shining allowed for Miracle Fusion to be used much more effectively. The deck strategy involved using Gemini Spark to tribute Neo's alias, the Gemini monster, and then using Neo's alias to make the Shining through Miracle Fusion. Then the Shining could recycle those banished monsters eventually back into your hand. The deck was also notable for being one of the first ever to use super polymerization competitively. It was dangerous because Elemental Heroes now had a generic fusion monster for literally every single attribute except Divine of course, which meant that none of your opponent's monsters were truly safe from super poly. However, the final deck of this format, and also the true king of the format, was Tengu Plants. Just by looking at this card, Reborn Tengu, it's so easy to see how it can easily be abused. The card used a previous engine of Plant Synchro, as well as new draw power synchro such as Formula Synchron and TG Hyper Librarian to gain quick advantage. Also, the release of Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, only further helped it as well, as this is one of the best synchros in the game's history, and currently limited 9 years later in the year of 2020. One deck that randomly won a YCS out of nowhere involved using the agents, and that was because Lost Sanctuary was released during this time.
Oh wow, that card is definitely emitting aura. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing the Asian monster from your hand, field, or graveyard. Once per turn, you can banish 1 light fairy type monster from your graveyard, then target 1 card on the field. Destroy that target. While the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you can activate this effect up to twice per turn.
Basically, the Agent of Creation Venus could bring out 3 mystical shine balls for a 1500 life point cost and flood the field for synchro summoning. In addition, Archlord Christia was ran in this deck to create a powerful floodgate against special summoning. It honestly worked very, very well. By August of 2011, a new summoning mechanic was introduced. XYZ Summoning.
XYZ Summoning, okay. Let's see. この時代のシンクロたちどれもぶっ壊れでしたね。そんな感じ。Oh
shoot, wait.
What is
XZ
this?
Summoning.
What?
Where you would require...
Wait, what happened to the Y? Why is it just XZ Summoning? Gachi Gachi Gantetsu. Utopia. Granosaurus. Okay.
2 monsters of the same level on the field in order to bring out an Xyz monster of the same range.
Oh, wrong XYZ. Okay. Psychosis, welcome in. Hello. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in. I am having a good stream.
This might come as a shocker though, but XC summoning was not really all that relevant for the first few months. At casual play it definitely was because they were a new hot release, but not competitively. The September 2011 ban list limited Formula Synchron, TG Hyperlibrarian, Trishula, Lonefire Blossom, Shien, and Shien Smoke Signal. So the question is, what's next? Well, in the coming months, the first competitive XC's engine deck emerged, Dino Rabbit. While synchro summoning would never truly leave
Look at all those rabbits. Usagi ga meccha iru.
the meta, this was one of the first few decks that overwhelmingly relied on XC's monsters for the extra deck. The deck used the newly released Rescue Rabbit in combination with Sabersaurus and Cavazals to pump out monsters from the deck to make Evolzar Lagia and Evolzar Dalka, which in combination could basically negate anything. The newly released tour guide from the Underworld was
She's so cute and I love her name. Tour guide from the Underworld. かわいい名前も。
which in combination could basically negate anything. The newly released tour guide from the Underworld was also useful in this deck, and overall the deck was a huge force of power in the meta.
Evil ass rabbit? Okay, which one's more evil? The cat or the rabbit?
While the nerfed Tengu plan still continued to win by the end of this year, Dino Rabbit finally won a YCS in December.
I love the name Dino Rabbit. このウサギにどれだけやられたか。Oh man. The rabbit made XYZ way too strong. そう、強すぎるね。Rabbit by far? Okay, 猫より強いのかな。さっきの。
This was an indication to everyone of what the meta would turn out to be starting in 2012. Basically, the dominance of XC's decks. And this is actually a perfect way to end the video, as the beginning of the true XC's era would be the beginning of 2012, which is the next video of course. Stay tuned for the next episode where we cover the iconic XC's era.
XZ's era next time. Cool. The meta is ever so constantly shifting. 海外だとこの犯罪者集団どんな風に言われてるの？犯罪者集団っていうのかな日本では。アメリカだとなんかメタっていうね。メタかまあ broken 壊れてる。でもメタっていう言葉使うかな。日本ではメタっていう言葉使わないのかな。犯罪者集団。I'm teaching Japanese commoners that we call these, sorts of decks meta. Yeah. The broken decks. The rabbit is wanted in 15 countries. He has committed crimes. Rabbit. The cat only wishes he was as much as a war criminal as a rabbit. Well, the cat did get kind of nerfed, right? Yeah. I don't know if the rabbit gets nerfed later, but perhaps, he gets a good run before then. The rabbit committed more war crimes. That's so funny. Oh, that was interesting. Yeah. There's still a part 6 and part 7 that covers up to 2015, but I think I will be watching and recording those separately outside of stream. So if you guys want to see those, it'll eventually make its way to my second channel, Emuri Off Tune. That's my second channel where clips and such get posted. So yeah, those will be on there. I probably won't be watching them on stream. はい、まだパート6、6とね、7があるんですけど、2015年まで、カバーされてるんだけど、そちらの方は、配信外で、収録して、私のサブチャンネル、切り抜きとかがアップされてる方に、多分動画として編集されてアップされます。はい。後の方ね。Yeah, so that'll probably be another future video. Yeah, 3 hours in watching the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! My God, yes, this was 3 hours of watching Yu-Gi-Oh! History. It is getting a little bit late, so I'll save, the next 2 parts for, separate thing. Since those are longer too. Part 6 is 23 minutes and part 7 is 22 minutes, as opposed to, we've been watching like 15 minutes so far, so. エミリーさん、遊戯をやったことありますか？一度だけあります。配信の、コメント欄に固定されてるんですけど、リンクが、ノバちゃんのチャンネルの方で、遊戯を 教わりました。去年。はい。マスターデュエル一緒にプレイしたんだけど、その時以来は、全然プレイしてません。そう。だからその配信だけでプレイしました。でももっとね、やりたいので、まあ、そのうちね。ノバちゃんめっちゃ遊戯王の配信とかやってるので、よかったら見てください。Yeah. I would like to play more, but also TCG scares me. TCG is truly hell, guys. But I think, for fun, it's not bad. Yeah. So if you want to check out me playing Master Duel when Nova taught me last year, feel free to check out the stream pinned in the chat currently. So that will be there. And maybe eventually I'll be able to, stream solo mode or something for Master Duel and stuff. 確かに実際カード買って開封配信とかしても面白そうですね。開封めっちゃ好きなのでカード開封するの。カード開封するの嫌いな人いないよね。そういうのは楽しいかも。Yeah! What if we pull cards on stream? Yeah, that would be fun. We should open cards. I am always down to open more cards. Let's just say. But then after I open it, I'm like, okay, where do I put this newly acquired cardboard I got? Alright, yeah, maybe we could have one. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the newer cards are more my, I guess, jam as well for Yu-Gi-Oh! It seems. Just cause I like the cute guys. なんかね、最近の遊戯王のカードの方がなんかもっと可愛いキャラとか多い気がする。で、まあ可愛いキャラ好きなので、最近のカードの方が好きかもしれない。どうだろうI suggest playing the story-driven DS or PSP games instead. Oh, yeah. But then I probably would not stream those. But yeah, I do enjoy DS games. And I do have a PSP as well. It just needs a battery replacement. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Let me pull up the BGM and we will wrap up here. I will have a stream tomorrow. I'm gonna go put up the waiting room after the stream. はい、明日の配信はバイオリン配信なので、こちらの配信終わってからちょっと待機場所を載せてきます。よかったら来てください。There's a Dragon Maids deck? ドラゴンメイドのデッキあるの？遊戯王。いいね。Wait, that sounds fun. Dragon Maids. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Good enough for tier below gold. Wow. That's a lot. It's cool how much variety there is. Dragon Maid is a popular deck. I'm not surprised. 結構人気なデッキなのね。そりゃそうだ。Alright. And then I have another stream on Saturday, right? I think it was Saturday. Let me double check. Yes, Saturday I am gonna be building Gunpla! で、土曜日はね、日本の日曜日なんですけど、友達のアイニャちゃんと一緒にガンプラを組み立てます。We're gonna be building Gunpla with my friend Anya, and we're gonna be suffering together because we are gonna be building the God I Hate Myself RG bundle from Zephyr Arcade, which consists of the RG Zeta Gundam and the RG... Was it Sinanju? Yeah. So we will be suffering. We'll see how bad it is. Since apparently those are infamous kits. So RG のね、リアルグレードのゼータガンダムとシナンジュをビルドしていきます。はい、組み立てていきます。結構あまり良くないガンプラと言われてる2つですね。だからまあそれはそれで面白いと思う。よかったら来てください。Yay! So I'll see you guys then. And also another announcement, me and Limina's Nyaka Mates Plamo Party contest is still ongoing till I believe April 18th. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna look at my tab again. Okay. Yes, it's ongoing until April 18th, which means there is still a little bit over a week to submit. Yeah, so if you guys are interested, be sure to... easy way to access the Google form would be to check the Good Choice Twitter for it, or my highlighted tab in over on my Twitter page. Yeah, it's also there. Or you could scroll down, my YouTube community post, and you should be able to find it as well. Or my Discord announcements. I'll probably make another announcement about it since we're close to a week away from submissions closing. Just as a reminder, I'll put it out. そう、プラモコンテストもね、リミナちゃんと一緒にやってるプラモコンテストも、4月18日まで続いております。And also, while the contest is ongoing, there's also a special little campaign running with Zephyr Arcade, who's our sponsor. You can use the code NYAKAMATES to get 10% off any order from Zephyr Arcade. And get a special sticker as well. This is for US only, but they do carry a lot of stuff like Gunpla kits. They carry other kits that are non-Gunpla as well, like Pokemon. They carry Warhammer. They also have started carrying TCG. They have Grand Archive's latest boosters as well. So if you're interested in Grand Archive, you can also get 10% off of that. And a special sticker. So feel free to check that out. All right. Yes, the RG hand grenade couple. I can't wait. I don't know if I should be scared. But I am excited to hang out with Anya. So, all right. Thank you, guys. I will catch you guys next stream. And I am going to set up my raid. Would love to see you guys stop by Violin tomorrow. Since it's been a while. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy the music. Wait. 誰の方に行きましょうか Some water. Alright, I found someone. But I don't know if they're streaming on Twitch. Twitchy. Chiku. Okay, so on Twitch I'll be sending you guys over to Mogu, who is playing Content King. What is this game? The name sounds funny. Oh, what? It's a streaming simulator? Wait, that's insane. All right, guys, go watch Mogu become a content king. 10 million subscribers on Twitch. All right. So I'll send you guys over to Mogu, and then on YouTube, I will send you guys over to Naki, who's playing Silk Song. YouTube の方は、ホローナイトのシルクソングをプレイしてるナキちゃんの方にレイドします。How many submissions so far? That's a good question. Let me check. I'm pretty sure I can check, so give me just a moment for that. How many submissions? How do I do this? Google Forms. I was logged into the wrong account. Okay, I found it. We have 7 submissions so far for the Plamo Party contest. And there are 4 prizes? Which, that gives a pretty good chance of winning a prize. We would love to see more submissions. Yeah, so if any of you guys just want to enter, it's pretty casual. There's 4 separate titles that you can enter for. So it'll be nice to see. I mean, obviously, when you enter, you're entering for multiple at the same time. But you can win, any of the 4 categories. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for your submission so far. Thank you. All right, I'm going to send you guys over to Mogu on Twitch and Naki on YouTube. Thank you, guys. I'll catch you guys next stream. では、また次の配信でお会いしましょう。おつえみだよん Thank you, BG Killers. Thank you. おつえみだよん Soul Slacker, you just got here. No worries. Feel free to check out, the streams of those I'm raiding into. You could also check out my, VOD if you haven't seen it with, playing Master Duel over on Nova's channel. Yeah. That's pinned in chat. Thank you, everyone. おつえみに See you guys. Take care. またね。おやすみ。今から1日始まる方、頑張ってね。Yeah. See you guys. Bye bye.